Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. I, Patriarch Uzumaki, inherit Hell Blood Demon God at the beginning. Chapter 21. Today's training task. Kill the enemy Chunin 20, Jonin 1. Mission reward. LV straight up +2, physical fitness slightly improved, stamina greatly improved. Eddy Tide Village. Forbidden place. No, the so-called forbidden area has been completely renovated once. The name of the forbidden place is also called the Holy Land by the clansmen of Uzumaki village, which means the place where the saints wake up. The original enshrinement room is gone, and it has become Su Feng's own independent courtyard. Indirect and very clean, there are small flowers of the Kushina species in the yard. Although they have not yet opened, they have begun to thrive. On the other side of the yard, Su Feng sat cross-legged on a bench under a tree. In the distance, Kushina held the blunt sword formed by the adamantine sealing chains with one hand, and measured back and forth against the air in front of him. Collapse mountain strike. There was a delicate and decisive cry. Xiaonizi jumped up high, and slapped the ground hard. Boom! The ground trembled slightly, and the bloody blade smashed a bloody flower below, which was truly dazzling. She is practicing skill proficiency, which is her own daily practice task. 10 days have passed since the job change. In the past 10 days, Kushina has set goals for herself conscientiously, learning the improved sealing technique, and practicing the skills of the mad warrior, working very hard. She is very talented. Perhaps the brilliance of the little sun in her previous life kept her light from showing. But as the mother of Destiny's child in the original book, how could her talent be so weak? Just like now, few of the entire Uzumaki family have completed the Sword and Shield Onslaught mode of adamantine sealing chains, let alone turned on the Sword and Shield Onslaught mode. But Kushina has learned, and the proficiency is not low. It's been 10 days. The survival of the arsenal has become 300 kunai, 300 shurikens, 100 high-quality detonators, and 50 one-time ninjutsu scrolls. This amount is enough to negotiate a deal. After all, this is a high-quality product produced by the arsenal. Su Feng has tested the strength. The kunai of common and the high-quality product produced by the arsenal will be completely broken and scrapped if you fight it a dozen times. The feel of the shuriken is even better. The original weapons and equipment in the clan were also integrated by Su Feng. Shurikens and the like were directly loaded on the arrow tower. Leave some common equipment for the clansmen to practice using, and the rest can be sold. After 10 days, the ethnic group development task also increased the clan strength of Uzumaki village by 1,000 points, and 2 more arrow towers appeared outside the village. Well, after glancing at Su Feng's own promotion task, the man stood up in silence for a while. It's time to get out there. 10 days passed, and there were 30 red-eyed crazy warriors in the clan. And this number is still increasing. But Su Feng still felt a little slow. He needs money. The bully of the Rain Country is waiting for his arrival. And today's practice task is a bit weird. It turned out to be a reward for level up, and a one-time LV +2. You must know that in the past 10 days, his training mission rewards have rarely increased in level, and almost all of them are accumulated experience points, so his current level is only LV 51, and the speed is neither fast nor slow. This training mission is more suitable to be called a hunting mission, and he received it from the transfer temple. 20 Chunin, 1 Jonin, this is a breeze for Su Feng. That's all for a small team. He waved to the little girl in the distance, and Kushina, who was training, trotted all the way to the front. Come out with me. Rubbing the little girl's head, Su Feng said. Different from other clansmen, as the first clansman who has the consciousness to change jobs, plus she is usually responsible for following Su Feng as a servant girl. Although the little girl is young, she was taught by Su Feng alone. She did not disappoint Su Feng either, and her strength was steadily improving. Where is the ancestor going? Kushina asked suspiciously. The land of rain, kill a few people, talk about business, meet an old friend. Turning around, the slender man shook off the unique robes of the Uzumaki clan, and walked down the forbidden ground. Kushina followed silently. There are some things she doesn't understand, and she doesn't know who was the person who could be called an old friend by the ancestors in the Sengoku period. She only knew that compared to the last time she could only watch her clansmen be killed, now she has strength. And this power was bestowed by the ancestor. If it was an ordinary matter, the ancestor probably wouldn't bring himself with him. It seems that this is some kind of test. Su Feng didn't explain that much. This trip to the Land of Rain is a must. The production speed of weapons and equipment in the arsenal is too slow. His next goal is to upgrade the arsenal to a higher level, greatly increase the speed of building, and then turn the equipment into money and exchange it for clan power as quickly as possible. The daimyo of the Uzumaki country is ready to move, and news came from his eyeliner. It seems that Danzo has led his cronies, the Sarutobi clan and the Shimura clan, to the Land of Rain to support the front line. Rain Shinobi Village is under pressure. War is imminent. At this juncture, it would be quite appropriate to squeeze a fortune out of Hanzo of the Salamander. Before I come back, don't let the clansmen leave Uzumaki village without authorization. Confess to Uzumaki Ryuji and bring the materials sealed into the scroll. 2 people, one big and one small, set foot on the road to the Land of Rain. The country of rain. This piece of land seems to have been cursed by God. It is rainy all the year round, and there is basically no sunshine. At this time, a path leading to Rain Shinobi Village. One big and one small 2 people are walking slowly. They don't have the sense of urgency that comes with war. On the contrary, from the head of the man, it gives people a kind of leisurely relaxation. It seemed that the war in the Land of Rain had nothing to do with him. A man, a woman, an adult and a child, seemed to have come to the Land of Rain to see the scenery and travel. The 2 clumps of fiery red hair silently spoke of their identity. Uzumaki Su Feng, Uzumaki Kushina. Compared with Su Feng's relaxation, Kushina has a serious mood. All the way into the hinterland of the Land of Rain, she suddenly felt that the invasion war in Uzumaki village was nothing at all. The bottom is the real battlefield. She followed her ancestor to this place and encountered many enemies along the way. Those people had no intention of inquiring about the identities of the 2 of them, and the move was a killer move. Even though the path is extremely quiet now, with only the sound of rain hitting the ground, she dare not relax her vigilance. The enemy didn't know where it would appear, as if a shuriken would fly behind her in the next second to plunder her life. Under such circumstances, Xiaonizi was fully alert. Looking carefully, she can see that there is blood all over her body, blood is surging all over her body, and her eyes are red. Obviously, she had already driven blood rage along the way. Well, she's burning blood. You can even feel the vitality that is being lost. But it does not matter. Death resists. With a yell, the little girl stomped her feet. This is a new trick she learned. When the vitality is lost and the death resistance is released, she immediately feels comfortable. You have to get used to the residual blood state. Ahead, feeling the little girl's surge of blood, Su Feng raised his eyebrows and spoke calmly. Joke. Can warrior play games? Obviously not. Kushina nodded ignorantly. She did feel it, as if the lower her vitality was, the more excited she became. Su Feng didn't say anything either. The fighting style of ninjas is completely different from that of mad warriors. No matter how powerful a ninja is, what they pay attention to is one-hit kills. Compared with frontal hard steel, ninjas are more suitable for assassination and other actions. Of course, this has something to do with the physical strength of people in this world. But the crazy warrior is life and death, and you can't play it when you are full of blood. The rewards brought by the daily missions of the job-changing temple are not only the improvement of experience points, but also the strength of all aspects of the body. Among other things, in the future, the ninjas from Uzushio village will be singled out to compete with ninjas from other ninja villages, and Uzushio village will have an absolute advantage. Stopping, Su Feng slowly closed his eyes. Ahead is the sphere of influence of Rain Shinobi village, and he is sensing the opponent's defense. The next step is to discuss business, and there is no need to directly conflict on the way. But if Hanzo of the Salamander doesn't give a, he can't be blamed. Speaking of which, the so-called demigod, although he is not worthy of this title, Hanzo of the Salamander is still a character. Even if the ninja villages who invaded the Land of Rain were not in the same mind, they might have fought against those ninja villages for so long, and in the end Sanin could not defeat them with all-out attack. This achievement is still something to be proud of. The Second Ninja War ended with Konoha's nominal victory. But in fact, it was Konoha's failure. It's Sarutobi Hiruzen who doesn't want to tear the fig leaf, and simply adds some political achievements to himself. You must know that Konoha claims to be the #1 ninja village, but after exhausting all its efforts, it was impossible to win Rain Shinobi Village after spending countless manpower and material resources and just declared a truce. Is this a victory? Not counting at all, but Lord Third Generation insisted on treating this defeat as a victory, and publicized his wise guidance in the village. But Konoha can last so long in this war, are you sure it wasn't Hatake Tsukumo who made great contributions to the front line? What does it have to do with you, Sarutobi? He didn't want that face thing long ago. However, there are several key points in the Second Ninja War. Sannin became famous. Hatake Tsukumo went deep into the enemy's rear to kill the parents of the Red Sand Scorpion, and Tsunade cracked Chiyo's poison. This is a positive influence. As for the sides, Senju, taking a deep breath, Su Feng determined the route, and continued to move forward with Kushina. After World War II, there was no more Senju. Tsunade left Konoha disheartened, which represented the complete end of Senju's era. As for blending into Konoha, that's just a joke. Not long after, when the two of them grandly appeared at the entrance of Rain Shinobi Village, the terrified Rain Shinobi Village ninja drew out their weapons vigilantly. Take it easy. The kid was obviously terrified. He obviously didn't know why someone appeared here without anyone noticing. He just saw that handsome and outrageous man, and told him gently to take it easy. Under Uzumaki Su Feng, the current patriarch of the Uzumaki clan. Self-introduction is still necessary. Su Feng had a gentle smile on his face. This visit to Rain Shinobi Village is a present for Your Excellency the demigod, the patriarch of the Uzumaki family. And give the leader a gift. The Rain Shinobi Village ninja who came back to his senses was stunned for a moment, and then directly attacked with a weapon on his face full of ferociousness. The reason why the editors don't pick a believable one. Uzumaki's people are not in the Uzumaki village, and they are going to the country of rain to swim in the muddy water. A self-introduction directly made the ninja of Rain Shinobi Village regard Su Feng as an enemy. Tisk. The other party's reaction did not surprise Su Feng at all. That guy Hanzo, his own subordinates didn't trust him, and he was very suspicious by nature, and his subordinates naturally inherited this fine tradition. Simply, he didn't intend to ask this kid to inform him. Reach out and round your arms. Snapped. Whoosh. Boom. With an understatement, he slapped him across the face, and the kid slammed backward like a cannonball. See, this is the price of not obeying the setting of, reach out and don't hit a smiling face. After overthrowing that person, Su Feng taught Kushina seriously. Of course, this setting is not valid for our Uzumaki clan, and it is also invalid. Oh, Kushina nodded, although she didn't understand the inner meaning. But, Patriarch, double punctuation is normal. Su Feng's strength is not small, so the movement caused by that slap just now is naturally great. This is the absolute core location of Rain Shinobi Village, and it is naturally not weak to be able to personally serve the subordinates of His Excellency the demigod. So in just 10 seconds, countless ninjas from Rain Shinobi Village have completely surrounded the two of them. However, they did not launch an attack in the first place, but blocked the escape route of the two of them by encircling them. Rattling, heavy footsteps approached. Wearing armor and wearing a mask, Hanzo of the Salamander walked over step by step. He first glanced at his miserable subordinate, and then with a murderous look in his eyes, he glanced at Uzumaki Su Feng and Uzumaki Kushina. If Su Feng read it right, when Hanzo saw him, there was a look of astonishment and doubt in his eyes. He hadn't expected that the man who killed his subordinates lightly would be so young. Young man, he has good strength. The astonishment and surprise were exchanged for appreciation. Hanzo has his own kind. I am a master, I am optimistic about your aura. This scene is very similar to the way he said, I call you Konoha Sannin, after rubbing Sannin on the ground. Regarding this, Su Feng was at a loss for words for a while. Is this guy serious? Do you really think you are a so-called demigod? Or do you think he, Uzumaki Su Feng, would feel proud after being praised by a demigod? He is not anyone in Sannin, praised by the enemy, left a good name or something, completely unnecessary. However, Your Excellency came to my Rain Shinobi Village and attacked my subordinates without authorization. Do you want to give me an explanation? After a brief appreciation, Hanzo of the Salamander looked colder. Appreciation is one aspect, but the behavior of the other party is undoubtedly slapping him in the face. As the leader of Rain Shinobi Village who can confront the 5 great ninja villages head-on, he has his own pride. I don't like nonsense, Su Feng said calmly, but since Your Excellency Demigod asked, I don't bother to say it again. The Patriarch of the Uzumaki clan, Uzumaki Su Feng. The purpose of coming to Rain Shinobi Village this time is to give Your Excellency the demigod a gift. The kid just wanted to do something to me after I finished speaking. After a pause, Su Feng seemed a little regretful and pointed at the corpse over there. He died, and he deserved it. Hanzo's expression sank, and the anger in his heart was even stronger. This kid didn't mean to explain at all, and even said that his subordinates deserved it. But he didn't get angry on the spot, instead he looked directly into Su Feng's eyes, as if he wanted to see through Su Feng's true thoughts. For a long time, Su Feng's flawless eyes made him lose the battle. What is the gift you are talking about? Hanzo did not express any doubt about Su Feng's identity. His subordinates had no eyesight, so he was a little bit. The man in front of him had an extraordinary bearing, and the hair color seemed to indicate their identities. Here comes the point. Su Feng smiled slightly, and then, like a magic trick, 2 kunai appeared in his hands. Ding ding. With a light touch, kunai made a sound. Sand Shinobi Village, Iwagakure, and Konoha invade the Land of Rain at the same time. The 3 major ninja villages were suspicious of each other, and none of them took the initiative to attack, but small-scale battles continued. Especially after Shimura Danzo led his cronies into the field and replaced Hitaki Sakumo as the commander, this small-scale battle began to escalate. Excuse me, Your Excellency Demigod, what is Shimura Danzo thinking now? Hanzo fell silent. What the hell is this kid trying to say? Okay, with your IQ, I'm afraid it's hard to understand. Sighing regretfully, Su Feng waved his hand. I thought that Danzo's next step would be to take the initiative and win his first victory on the battlefield of the Land of Rain. He is in a hurry. In order to make his resume look better and to gain military exploits, he will declare war on Rain Shinobi Village in a short time. At that time, small-scale battles will turn into local wars. Hanzo frowned. He knew that. But what does this have to do with the gift the other party wants to give me? Well, the war is escalating. Let me guess, can the supplies of the besieged Rain Shinobi Village keep up? A strange smile appeared on Su Feng's face, and the next moment he exerted force with both hands at the same time. Clang! The sound of gold and iron clanging struck. What shocked Hanzo was that the kunai in the man's left hand cut off the kunai in his right hand lightly. The one on my right hand is a regular ninja model. The one on the left is a special model produced by my Uzushio village. Of course, it's just the initial version, and there will be more exaggerated and more powerful upgrade products in the future. As for this kind of suffering, I brought 300 with me this time. He casually threw the broken kunai to Hanzo, asking him to check it by himself. Su Feng took out a shuriken and threw it casually. Swish! The shuriken was extremely fast, stabbing the wall of Rain Shinobi Village directly in less than a second. Hanzo's eyes were not bad. He saw that the wall pierced by the shuriken was pierced through most of it like tofu. Same as shuriken, 300. Su Feng said gently, besides that, there are also special products. He drew out a shuriken again, but the difference was that this time there was a high-quality detonation charm hanging behind the shuriken, and then he threw it back without looking at it. Swish! Boom! The ground trembled, and the ninjas of Rain Shinobi Village watched in horror at the explosion that was several times more exaggerated than the common detonator. Counting this detonating talisman, there are a total of 100. In addition, there are the most special products. Pulling out a small scroll, Su Feng threw it to Kushina, and the little girl accepted it knowingly. The next moment, she flicked the scroll, spread the scroll in the air, and slapped the scroll. Boom! A fireball flew forward without warning. Muji releases a one-time ninjutsu scroll. It only takes a little chakra to detonate. Free your hands from now on, and it's powerful. Your Excellency Demigod should understand the strategic significance of this thing. A total of 50 cards, all here. Su Feng introduced his products conscientiously. However, after he turned his head and saw the shock and ecstasy in Hanzo's eyes fade away, the familiar greed appeared. Su Feng smiled. Man, he always considered the immediate interests, but he didn't think about why Su Feng dared to come here with such valuable supplies in such a grand manner. What's next? He is very curious. Threaten. Ming grab. Still calculating. It's just a pity. He, Uzumaki Su Feng, never paid attention to the so-called demigods. The atmosphere gradually became weird. Su Feng also stopped introducing his own products. Kushina was very calm, standing behind Su Feng without saying a word. Your Excellency's gift is quite good. Hanzo finally spoke, with a smile on his face that made people feel very friendly. At first glance, he looked like a respected senior. If Rain Shinobi Village has this supply of supplies, the next battle will be much easier. I just don't know what you want to get by helping me Rain Shinobi Village so much. Hanzo calmed down a bit. This gift is more than good. An excellent kunai that can cut off common kunai lightly, a shuriken with strong piercing power, a detonating charm with an outrageous explosion scale and explosion strength, plus an ninjutsu scroll that can instantly release without consuming chakra. This thing is simply a weapon of war. If he can get these things, his Rain Shinobi Village strength will be raised to another level. He gave his subordinates a look, and all the ninjas of Rain Shinobi Village began to approach Su Feng slowly without leaving a trace. Just now, that kid said. When he came this time, he had all his supplies with him. Keep him. This is the only thought in Hanzo's mind at the moment. Money. Su Feng's answer was concise and to the point, but his face was full of sarcasm. It seems that Your Excellency demigod doesn't intend to give it. Exposed. The amiable look on Hanzo's face turned ferocious in an instant, and he rushed directly at Uzumaki Su Feng with a wave of his big hand. Money. Sorry, I do have some in Rain Shinobi Village, but I don't intend to give it to you. Money, supplies, I want them all. Young man, there is a good saying that comes from the Far East. Everyone has no pretend endless. It is this attitude of being a senior who educates others. But he, Uzumaki Su Feng, never had any patience to obey others' education. Boom. Stepping hard on the ground with one foot, countless gold chains spread from the feet of all Rain Shinobi Village ninjas in an instant. At the same time, Su Feng's body, which maintained the strength of the chains, disappeared instantly. Appeared again, in front of Hanzo. Calling you a demigod, do you really think you are a demigod? Blood surged from the man's body, and he reached out and grabbed Hanzo's head with lightning speed. At that moment, Hanzo couldn't even use the body replacement technique. Boom. Pressed down firmly with one hand. That incomparable power directly made Mother Earth howl and tremble. In an instant, Hanzo's head was embedded in the ground, and his expression was distorted by the severe pain. How can it be? How could such speed and strength be possessed by this young man? He didn't have time to be shocked. From the corner of his eyes, he could already see the changes in the whole scene clearly. Not only him, but all his subordinates were firmly tied up by adamantine ceiling chains and lifted into the air. And the source of all the chains is this terrifying young man. The sudden change plunged the entire Rain Shinobi Village into an eerie silence, except for the sound of rain falling and the creaking of chains. There was nothing else. And the instigator of everything, Uzumaki Su Feng, pinched Hanzo's head with one hand and pressed him to the ground, ignoring the surrounding gravel, and snapped his fingers with the other hand. The gold throne gradually took shape. The man let go of Hanzo's head, stepped on it with one foot, and then sat on the throne calmly. Next to him, Kushina skillfully took out a black umbrella and walked over to give the ancestor the supreme treatment. As for everything going on around her, Kushina is used to it. Well, just a small scene. Just a demigod. Hanzo under Su Feng's feet was full of humiliation. In an instant, this man showed the strength enough to instantly kill the entire Rain Shinobi Village. But he has no remorse. This world is like this: if you have a hard fist, you are the ancestor. But what made him angry was that this man was clearly so powerful. Why didn't he show it right from the start? You show it, that is the sincerity of the strong. At this moment, he seems to be a clown, thinking that he is in control of everything, but he doesn't know that he is being played around. Certainly, it's not that he didn't think about fighting back. But when the man pinched his head, the chain had already bound his hands. Can't move, can't do anything. You can only feel it with your face, and that's the force coming from your feet above your head. Well, after a long time, after the calm, it was a man's sigh. Let's talk to you. If I hadn't thought about it, if I killed all of you in Rain Shinobi Village, the Second Ninja World War would have ended early, Lousy would have earned much less, and you would have died long ago. So this is what he really thinks in his heart. Afraid that their range shinobi village was not strong enough and was killed in advance, so they were left alive. Hanzo's humiliation was even worse. He could feel that his tough heart as a warrior was completely shattered. Demigod. The strength is not bad. With a sneer, Su Feng was amused. The real god of ninjas, Lousy, has beaten him, let alone you. And if Hashirama knows, the so-called demigod is just, he can laugh for a long time himself. Said you know the same as the god of ninja. Hanzo was indignant. He wasn't from that era, so he naturally didn't know how powerful the rumored god of ninja was. He can crush most cage levels, is there a problem with claiming to be a demigod? Your Excellency, you can kill a soldier, you can't be humiliated. With his face twisted, the demigod spoke angrily. Well, then I will insult you today. Su Feng said calmly. You. The demigod was furious, but there was nothing he could do. We don't want your Excellency's things at Rain Shinobi Village. What the hell? Su Feng became anxious, and the strength of his feet increased. Lousy gave you some face. If you say no, don't. Do you believe that if you don't buy Lousy, you will kill all the people in Rain Shinobi Village? So what the hell are you thinking? Hanzo of the Salamander's face was livid, and there was only one thought in his head right now. This man is sick. Su Feng didn't keep Hanzo waiting too long. After giving Kushina a look, the little girl understood, took out a price list from her arms and threw it to Hanzo. Su Feng also retracted his feet, glanced at Hanzo's eyes like eating shit, and smiled. It's too expensive. Hanzo swallowed. It's more than 3 times higher than the market price, I can't understand it. The man on the throne shook his head when he heard the words, Your Excellency, you need to know what era it is. Also called me a demigod. Hanzo was constipated all over his face. You have to understand that during the war, it is normal for the price of materials to increase. Especially the weapons and equipment of our Uchiha village, whether it is durability or practicality, are not comparable to other ninja villages, even the Iron Country cannot be closed. Su Feng said lightly, and in the short term, our Uzumaki village will only provide supplies to your Rain Shinobi village. So, can you understand the strategic significance of these supplies? 3 times, expensive, exclusive. There was a gleam in Hanzo's eyes. If this condition is added, triple the market price does not seem so unacceptable. But he said, in the short term. After a little hesitation, Hanzo already agreed to the price in his heart. Certainly, judging from the man's expression, he has no other way to go. People have said that he can't do without this equipment. Otherwise, kill everyone in Rain Shinobi village and sacrifice to heaven. They are domineering, but they have that domineering strength. Especially after he has clearly perceived that the salamander fish he summoned when he rushed over at the beginning has been tightly locked underground, he has lost the capital to resist. As for the toxin in the salamander, he is not 100% sure that he can influence the opponent. If he fails, the price he needs to bear is too tragic. He didn't dare to gamble. Especially when Uzumaki Su Feng shattered his pride as a warrior in front of everyone, he became even more cowardly. But as the leader of Rain Shinobi Village, bargaining is still necessary when negotiating. Well, I already know your sincerity. However, 3 times is still a bit inflated, it is not as good as us. Snapped. Before Hanzo of the Salamander could finish speaking, something happened that made him furious. The girl who threw him the price list actually swooped down and slapped him on the face. Do you really think that the old ancestor has a good temper? I sold you Rain Shinobi Village for your face. Who gave you the courage to bargain with your ancestors? The little girl said with a ferocious face. This was explained in advance. Before coming, Su Feng gave her a secret mission, which was to slap her half-godly. Said it was to test the tolerance she should have as a member of Uzumaki Village. As much as the ancestor said, it is as much. If you dare to talk nonsense, the price will be tripled. Hanzo of the Salamander was obviously stunned by the slap. When he came back to his senses, while being angry, he suddenly heard some strange words. Old Patriarch. With doubt and incomprehension in his eyes, Hanzo sized up Uzumaki Su Feng. This person is the ancestor of this little girl. What a joke. Snapped. The little girl slapped her again. How dare you question the identity of the ancestor? My ancestor of Uzumaki village was the pride of the Sengoku period. Are you worthy of questioning? How about the god of ninja? My ancestor beat me. How about Uchiha Madara? My ancestor beat me too. Sengoku period. God of ninjas Senju Hashirama. Uchiha Madara. Is he really the ancestor of the Uzumaki clan? Hanzo of the Salamander paled. If true, how the hell did this guy live? Monster. He actually wanted to fight a monster of this level before. Crazy. Not far away, the man on the throne touched his chin. He didn't care that Hanzo of the Salamander knew his identity. Even if he spread it, it would be fine. To Su Feng's surprise, the young Uzumaki Kushina has already shown the characteristics that a little pepper should have. Spicy, surprisingly spicy. After a little bit of urging, her violent talent has been fully demonstrated. I'm going to get the money. After knowing the identity of the other party, even if he couldn't believe it in his heart, the Hanzo of the Salamander at this moment did not dare to be presumptuous. And just judging from his ability to kill everyone in Rain Shinobi Village in an instant, the desire to resist is no longer necessary. After rushing into his room, he dug out his small treasury, counted it, stuffed it into his bag, and Hanzo came back to the man again. Please take a look. Su Feng held the bag upside down, and all the coins in the bag disappeared the next moment. Clan power exchange. He was too lazy to carry it, so he could easily exchange it on the spot. Ding! The exchange was successful. Congratulations to host for getting 23,000 clan power points, and the current balance is 23,400. All of a sudden you're rich. Su Feng feels refreshed all over. War money is really the best way to make money. With more than 20,000 clan strength, he plans to do a big job, and now he looks at Hanzo of the Salamander much more pleasing to the eye. Smiling and snapping his fingers, all the chains of adamantine sealing chains disappeared instantly. Demigod, happy cooperation. Happy, quite happy. Hanzo of the Salamander nodded hastily. Although the process was a bit tortuous, but now that he has the supplies, he has the confidence to compete with other ninja villages. After watching the ancestor leave, he finally heaved a sigh of relief. And those of his subordinates looked at each other, and no one dared to speak. No one is allowed to say what happened today. After pondering for a moment, Hanzo took a deep breath and spoke slowly. Subordinates understand. The ninjas around quickly agreed. In Rain Shinobi Village, the leader is the supreme being. And at this moment, a Rain Shinobi Village ninja ran over from a distance. Boss, the latest information. Shimura Danzo, leading 3,000 Konoha Shinobi warriors, is marching towards the side of Rain Shinobi Village. Enemy attack. But at this moment, there was no tension in Hanzo's eyes, and even his bloodshot face was full of ferocity. Danzo, right, you deserve to be Tibetan like lousy. Lousy can't beat Uzumaki's ancestors, and can't beat you. Obviously, he has turned his anger on the respected Lord Danzo. Silently glanced at the scroll sealed with the high-quality detonating talisman. Your Excellency the demigod made a plan in an instant. Master Danzo, everything is going well. The intelligence ninja who delivered the message looked solemn. In the land of rain, the speed of the advancing team is not fast. The war is imminent. Danzo was in command, but this time he wanted a hearty victory. Coming to the front line, with the elite of Shimura clan and Sarutobi clan, he wants to prove his ability to everyone. Replaced Hitaki Tsukumo's command position, and even sent the 3 apprentices of Sarutobi Hiruzen out of this operation. In terms of pressure, he still has it. But no matter what, the first victory has to be his Shimura Danzo. Unfortunately, Danzo, who is determined at the moment, doesn't know. Even in the real ninja history, without Uzumaki Su Feng providing material support to Rain Shinobi Village, he still lost this battle. Yes, in the Second Ninja World War, Danzo lost no matter how he fought. This is the main reason why even if Sarutobi Hiruzen abdicates in the future, no one supports him to take over Hokage's position. It is undeniable that Danzo is a pragmatic faction compared to Sarutobi Hiruzen. At least his willingness to disguise corpses and other behaviors in order to provoke a war is not something third generation can do. But in terms of ability, he is really lacking. Great ambition, but no ability to match it. In this regard, Su Feng's evaluation of Danzo is quite pertinent. Keep going. The old god Danzo is here. This time the battle cannot be lost. The dispatched ones are also elites. As for why he was in such a hurry, the reason is simple. He simply doesn't agree with third-generation solid style of play. He even believes that in the stalemate stage, whoever can take the lead in opening up the situation will be able to take the initiative. Ideas are not a problem. Unfortunately, he can't pick his timing. Why are other ninja villages fighting with each other on a small scale, to test? No one took the initiative to launch a full-scale attack. Danzo couldn't think of this level. He is quite confident in his own ideas. Get a victory that belongs to Konoha, then open the Rain Country battlefield, and then lead the Konoha shinobi army to sweep the battlefield with an invincible attitude. This is his idea of Danzo. He even thought so countless times in the future. He thinks that Konoha is the #1 ninja village, and no one is Konoha's opponent. But he forgot that this is not the era of Senju Hashirama, and he still lives in his own world. Sweeping the battlefield, and then hiding his mentor in Konoha, the only remaining direct descendants of the Senju clan were placed in death squads one by one to die. After the war, the influence left by Senju's history will be completely diluted, and then the heroes with him as the main one will write the glorious history of Konoha. It was his task, and Danzo rejoiced. Now, the first step. To gain the initiative on the battlefield, he wants to fight Hanzo of the Salamander head-on, the so-called demigod. Demigod, Danzo scoffed. After today, he is the man who defeated the demigod. Boom, boom, quote. The spring and autumn dream had just begun, and was forced to wake up with the trembling of the ground. When Danzo stabilized his figure, he only saw the flames shooting up to the sky in front of the team. What happened? Is there an earthquake? Danzo looked around in a panic. But after those dozens of violent explosions, screams suddenly came and went. Hanzo is not a waste of ambition and incompetence like Danzo. Since he made a move, he was rushing to wipe it all out. The new weaponry is pretty handy. A certain ninja from the Sarutobi clan had just fought against the Rain Shinobi village ninja, and realized something was wrong. Ding ding ding. After only 3 hand-to-hand combats, he clearly saw signs of fracture in his hand. But before he sent this information, a shuriken had already pierced his chest. The imminent battle started very quickly, catching everyone off guard. The Konoha shinobi were ambushed, and the exaggerated detonator ruthlessly harvested their lives. Seen from the air, the ninjas who are accustomed to the terrain of Rain Shinobi village have an inherent advantage. Danzo, who was stunned by the beating, even forgot to organize a counterattack immediately. It's only a matter of time before Muyi loses. The first battle, Rain Shinobi village wins big. The rear team harvests the loot, especially the shuriken, and don't let the enemy find out the problem. The former army continues to pursue, kill as many as they can. Hanzo of the Salamander, with a murderous look on his face, carried a sickle and chased after giving the order. This time they had an advantage in terms of location and weapons. He wants to continue to expand the results of this battle. The rain washed away the blood left on the battlefield, and the flames of war on this land were rekindled. At this moment, Su Feng and Kushina are far away from gunpowder. Now they are standing outside a hidden cave. Found it. The man smiled and looked full of playfulness. Stepping forward, sensing the good chakra fluctuations hidden inside, he smiled even more. Finally, he took Kushina around, and the space ahead suddenly opened up. And when the man's gaze swept forward, he finally met those eyes full of disbelief. Under the huge golem, the breath of an old man gradually became violent. The years have left traces on him, but the domineering and conceited body has never diminished. As arrogant as he is, after experiencing unforgettable years, this is the first time his emotions have lost control. Compared with the emotional runaway of the old man, the young man is always smiling and calm. Yo, my friend, long time no see. Uchiha Madara. At the time of the Second Ninja World War, Madara has given Nagato her eyes at this moment. As for Nagato, Su Feng knew about it from the Uzumaki family. Nagato's mother did not escape when the Uzumaki clan was exterminated, but came to the land of Rain before the Uzumaki clan was invaded. For what reason, Su Feng didn't know. But now, the arrogant, white-haired old man in front of him is behind the pipeline connecting Geto statue. He is dying. Although it's not yet the Third Ninja World War, facing Obito's age, but judging from the breath, it's just a forced breath. His Rinnegan was given to Nagato, and he himself lived on the golem's life force. In order to realize the idea of peace in his heart, he tried his best to endure it. I haven't seen you for many years, and you're getting better and better. Well, I'm getting younger and younger. Ignoring Black Zetsu, whose body was stuck on the ground in the distance, Su Feng walked up to Madara step by step and began to taunt ruthlessly. Slap. Calmly walked to the front of Madara, stretched out his hand casually, and patted Madara's old face. I still remember when I slapped you on the mouth in Nanhekwan. Well, after so many years, you really haven't changed. There is no such thing as cursing. Black Zetsu's eyes widened in the distance. Once, he knew of the existence of Uzumaki's Su Feng. But he didn't pay special attention to it. When Madara was young, there was no eternal Mangekyo, so it was no big deal to be beaten by this kid. Uzumaki's Su Feng was described as an amazingly talented and brilliant person in the Sengoku period. However, the relationship between Su Feng, Senju Hashirama, and even Uchiha Madara is not limited to the content on the steel of the Uzumaki family. Uzumaki and Senju are close relatives, and in that generation, Su Feng was the young patriarch of Uzumaki, and Senju Hashirama was the eldest son of the Senju clan. Therefore, the two ethnic groups often move around, and they get to know each other after coming and going. Su Feng is familiar with the plot, but he didn't intend to have a relationship with Senju Hashirama. However, Ashura's reincarnation was too enthusiastic, and it didn't take long for a follower to exist behind him. Precocious like Su Feng, who was mysteriously taken to Nangachuan by Senju Hashirama during the truce, which is the river Shisui jumped into. That river is at the dividing line between Senju and Uchiha confrontation. Therefore, it is very reasonable to meet Uchiha Madara after visiting more times. When we first met, Uchiha Madara expressed dislike for Senju Hashirama, insisting on playing with Su Feng. As proud as he is, he only plays with friends he recognizes. The consequences can also be imagined, that is, the young Madara was crushed by Su Feng in all aspects. Whether it was competing in physical skills, fighting with all his strength, or even urinating on Nanhekwan, who could urinate farther, Madara ended in a disastrous defeat. Get beaten means approval, but the Tsunere Uchiha Madara never takes her admiration superficially. But that period of relaxed youth growing up has already penetrated deep into his heart. Even one day Senju Hashirama proposed to ask for help. Although Uchiha Madara claimed to be boring, he finally participated in it. The final ranking of the three is based on their birthdays. Su Feng's birthday is the oldest, and he deservedly became the boss, while Senju Hashirama's birthday was on October 23rd, and he became the second child, and the youngest Uchiha Madara was born on December 24th. It's just a pity. Time flies, when the three clans are in full-scale war, that friendship has long since disappeared. But at least, before Su Feng retreated, Uchiha Madara was pressed and beaten by Su Feng. The boy in the past has now become an old man, but Su Feng has no regrets in his heart. Instead he starts to stroke the beard full of curiosity. What? I haven't seen Big Brother for so long, can't I see enough? Holding Madara's chin, Su Feng had a wretched face. When he was a child, he liked to hit Madara on the ground and molested her after the beating. This temper hasn't changed over the years. And every time this time, Uchiha Madara will be full of anger and want to fight back. Pity. With Madara's current physical condition, it is difficult to move. Go, the cave is too boring, let's go out and have a chat. Su Feng raised his eyebrows, looked Uchiha Madara up and down, and then spoke. Visit old friends. This is the second thing Su Feng will do on this trip. From the Sengoku period to the present, this kid is one who can talk and is alive. As for the madness of Uchiha Madara in the future, that has nothing to do with him. Although he was doomed to fail, he didn't bother to persuade him. He understands Uchiha Madara, a character who goes all the way to black, and when everything is over in the end, it is the time to really speak. Not moving. Could it be that you don't have the strength to stand up? Su Feng smiled slightly, glanced at the connected body of Madara and Geto statue, and suddenly seemed to think of something. Then what do you do with shit? Wipe it with that black thing over there. You. Black Zetsu in the corner was furious and wanted to yell on the spot. But he glanced at Madara. At this moment, Madara's eyes were red and angry, but he didn't issue orders after all. And I don't know if it's an illusion, but Black Zetsu can always find some strange emotions in Madara's eyes. That kind of emotion, only when Uchiha Madara mentions Senju Hashirama. HMPH, Ghetto Statue, it's normal if you haven't seen it. This thing will help me transport my vitality and complete my metabolism. At last he spoke. Madara said, pretending to be indifferent, but there was a touch of embarrassment in the words. He, never seen it. That is to say, it poops for you. Su Feng was thoughtful, and then clapped his hands. It turned out to be such a mobile toilet. Uzumaki Su Feng, the ancestor of the Uzumaki clan. During the Sengoku period, 18-year-old Uzumaki Su Feng declared a retreat, and from that day on, all news about this man disappeared. Until today, he appeared again. Madara was confused, but as proud as he was, she didn't choose to speak up. But not far behind him, Black Zetsu, who was hiding in the corner, was deep in thought. He was thinking about all the information about Uzumaki Su Feng. Improved sealing technique, self-created ninjutsu, extraordinary talent. This is all Sengoku period, rumors about this man. But Black Zetsu didn't take it seriously from beginning to end. There were many geniuses during the Sengoku period. Even if this person came from the Uzumaki clan, he could not attract the attention of Black Zetsu. All he cares about is Uchiha Madara. If it wasn't for Indra, Uchiha Madara, and Ashura, Senju Hashirama, another Uzumaki clan appeared, and he wouldn't bother to investigate about Uzumaki Su Feng. But now, he had to focus on observation. How did this man come back to life? In other words, why didn't he die? From the Sengoku period to the present, apart from Uchiha Madara, there is probably only one Uzumaki Mito, and a certain money-gathering minister who knows secret arts. But why is this man so young? The rumored 100 healings mark. No, there is no 100 healings mark on Uzumaki Su Feng's forehead. The 100 healings mark came from Uzumaki, and then Uzumaki Mito taught it to Tsunade, and Tsunade seems to have inherited this seal technique, and also carried out extended research, such as Senju Hashirama's Baihao technique of resilience. Since it's not the 100 healings mark, so what is the reason for this man to stand here so young? Is it similar to the resurrection technique of Rinne Tensai technique? But Rinnegan, only the pair in Nagato's eye sockets is right. He has no idea about the old Six Paths man, the location of Rinnegan after his big brother died. Could it be? Is it recorded in the history of the Uzumaki clan? Black Zetsu's eyes lit up. He seemed excited to have found a spare battery. Yes, only the Rinne Tensai technique can revive a person so perfectly. It is absolutely impossible for Uzumaki Su Feng to live with this attitude until now. There is only one truth. The Uzumaki clan know where the other pair of Rinnegans are. He knew about the news that the Uzumaki clan was invaded a while ago. After all, with Black Zetsu's ability, it is not difficult to know some secrets. In other words, when the Uzumaki clan was in crisis, a certain member of the Uzumaki clan squeezed into Rinnegan, who had found the old man of Six Paths, and then a certain member of the Uzumaki clan transplanted himself at a critical moment in an attempt to change the situation of the battle. But in the end, because he couldn't bear Rinnegan's backlash, he used his life to resurrect the existence of the Sengoku period before he died, so as to help the Uzumaki family tide over the difficulties. The more Black Zetsu thought about it, the more excited he became, and even at this moment he wanted to encourage Madara to get back a few more Uzumaki clansmen, and to grab another pair of Rinnegans. After a while of brainstorming, he even drew up the second part of Black Zetsu's story of saving his mother. Certainly, Su Feng is too lazy to make up his mind. If he knew what Black Zetsu was thinking, he would probably have slapped him on the spot. Rinnegan from Sage of Six Paths up. Nonsense. Six Paths didn't die at all. He stayed in the Pure Land and watched the ninja world, playing with his big chessboard. Since he dared to appear here, on the one hand, Madara at the moment can't give him any pressure. And Black Zetsu will be eyeing the Uzumaki clan. Sorry, he can't even enter the protective barrier, and even wait for the Uzumaki clan's crazy warriors to level up. It's a breeze to pick a Black Zetsu. He came here today, just chatting with an old friend. The only one who can talk to the old friend from the Sengoku period is Madara. In the end, Madara arrogantly sucked a big mouthful from the life force of Geto statue, and followed Su Feng to the outside of the cave staggeringly. As for how to reconnect the pipes after returning, that is not a problem for Su Feng to consider, and Madara will have a headache for herself. Kushina followed Su Feng step by step. Go out and walk more, the air outside is much more comfortable than in the cave. Outside the cave, the two found a cliff. Su Feng stretched his waist, with an aggressive and relaxed expression, as if the person next to him was not Uchiha Madara, who was called Ninja Shira during the Sengoku period, but only regarded him as a half-dead old man. Shua, the adamantine ceiling chains burst out, and the gold throne took shape in a few breaths. The man sat lazily on it, and Kushina naturally opened an umbrella for him, and then he watched with great interest, walked to a cold stone and sat down. You still enjoy it that much? Madara glanced up and down at the familiar gold seat, then said lightly. It's just that the sour smell in the air is a bit lingering. I'm used to it, but you, aren't you afraid of getting hemorrhoids? Su Feng was used to his poisonous tongue, and joked with his eyes aimed at Uchiha Madara's buttocks. Madara was silent for a while, turned her head to look into the distance, and then spoke leisurely. I won't, adamantine ceiling chains. This forced. Old and arrogant, Sasuke's dick is purely inherited from Indra. But one thing to say, in front of outsiders, Uchiha Madara is not like this. If others talk like Su Feng, they will have to bite off a piece of the other party's flesh even if they are desperately trying to scrap this body. Rolling his eyes, Su Feng threw a chain to weave a bench for Madara, and didn't care whether Madara was willing to make it, another gold chain threw him on it directly. The atmosphere is a bit dull. Haven't seen each other for decades, seems to have a lot to say. But in the end, it turned into silence. Among them, the absence of a sunshine idiot who can adjust the atmosphere and ignore it seems a little unaccustomed. That fool's name is Senju Hashirama. And the reason why the fool died so early was largely due to the fight with Uchiha Madara. Is there anything you want to ask me? After a long silence, Madara suddenly spoke. You have to listen to this in reverse. The meaning is obvious. If you don't ask me a question, how can I ask you? They all came from the Sengoku period. But now both of them have a secret in their hearts. He is also uncomfortable. After all, no one can talk to him in the cave except Black Zetsu. You didn't ask me either. Su Feng understood very well, and gave Madara an enigmatic look. There was another silence. Madara's expression was deep, and she chose to stare at Su Feng. Decades ago, when you announced your retreat, everyone thought you were dead. A lot has happened over the years. Is this to voluntarily self-destruct? Su Feng raised his eyebrows, not thinking about Madara's words. Do you still remember what we said in Nanhekwan? With nostalgia in Madara's eyes, Hashirama said that if everyone understands each other, there will be true peace. I established Konoha with him, but in the end we couldn't understand each other at all. He still can't forget the backlash he encountered after Hashirama proposed to be first Hokage. Konoha's name is what he said casually while holding the leaf, and Hokage's name is Hashirama's praise of Uchiha fire style superb. Pity. When he took the leaf and went to consult with Hashirama. Several ethnic groups in the joint village of Senju Tobarama strongly opposed it. Uchiha must not be trusted. Even if it's the second Hokage after my brother, it can't be Uchiha Madara. The discussion between them completely dispelled Madara's inner thoughts. Regardless of the Uchiha clan, no matter what Uchiha Madara does, Uchiha belongs to the evil side, which has long been entrenched. The path of Hashirama has come to an end. Madara suddenly said, next, I will try the path I found. With flickering eyes, he stared at Su Feng. He is thinking. Do you want to tell the other party your plan? Compared with looking for an unreliable successor in the future, the existence of Uzumaki Su Feng is more appropriate. But his pride will not allow him to open his mouth. After all, Su Feng is not Uchiha's junior. He is using words to force Su Feng to ask, for example, what is his own path, and then he is very interested in choosing to help himself. If there is Uzumaki Su Feng, I don't even have to wait for Nagato to grow up, and I can be resurrected in full form. When the time comes, collect the tailed beasts and establish a peaceful world under the control of infinite Tsukuyomi. Then try it. To Madara's disappointment, it seems that Su Feng has no idea about the path he is on. When you turn around and fail, try mine. The man stretched out his hand gently, and patted Madara's old face. I'm too lazy to care what your plan is, but don't let me know that you want to attack my people behind your back, and don't mess with me. Otherwise, I'll still beat you. This person does not belong to the kind of playing cards according to the routine at all. The corner of Uchiha Madara's mouth twitched, and finally let out a sigh. However, to shoot at your people. Madara sneered in her heart. Don't look at the two of them talking and laughing here, cooking wine and talking about heroes. Isn't Nagato one of his pawns? I will never be able to do what you do. The people of that tribe take it too seriously. Madara said indifferently. When the Uchiha clan becomes a toothless tiger, he will abandon the clan without hesitation. No, in other words, it was the Uchiha clan that abandoned him. Uchiha Madara, not him. Uchiha Madara abandoned the clan. Lord Madara, the time has come. The atmosphere fell into silence again, and Black Zetsu suddenly emerged from the surface, and then whispered a reminder. Without the Gedo statue, Madara will not live long. Today has been overtime for a long time, and it has a great impact on Madara's body if I stick to it. What is this stuff? Glancing at Black Zetsu, Su Feng asked with a wink at Madara. As Madara hinted before, he had to ask some questions. The product of yin-yang done belongs to my will. Madara said calmly. Your will. Su Feng acted like he had suddenly realized, and then began to look up and down Black Zetsu, and finally shook his head in disdain. Madara, your will is ugly. Madara, who was originally calm, and even showed off the high-end vocabulary of yin-yang done, looked down, and then looked at Su Feng with an unkind expression. How can this person scold others? At the same moment, this sentence appeared in Madara and Black Zetsu's mind. Forget it, it's you after all. I'll write down these accounts for you. When we meet in the future, I will settle it with you. Madara took a deep breath to calm herself. He always felt that in front of this man, he couldn't show that kind of calm aura. However, after being disgusted by you for so long, I want to disgust you too. With a weird smile on her face, Madara spoke slowly. I don't know anything about you. Su Feng's indifferent face was quite disdainful. There is someone who has been waiting for you for decades. Hashirama really regards you as a big brother, and has held back for decades. Madara said leisurely, if you have time, you can visit Konoha. After speaking, Madara stood up slowly, not bothering to explain the details, out of disgust for Su Feng, and walked towards the entrance of the cave with the support of Black Zetsu. Decades. Konoha, hold back. Su Feng was stunned for a moment, with a slightly weird look on his face. Uzumaki Mito. The Second Ninja World War, accompanied by Danzo's active attack, completely kicked off the curtain. Other forces in the Land of Rain, Sand Shinobi Village and Iwagakure got the news as soon as possible, and they were waiting for the result of the first battle between Konoha and the Land of Rain. But to Chiyo and Onagi's surprise, the result of the battle was soon announced. Konoha was defeated. Danzo led 3,000 elites and vowed to win the first victory, but ended in a disastrous defeat. Of the 3,000 elites killed, only less than 1,000 remained, and even Danzo himself was nearly killed by the detonating talisman. The results were somewhat unexpected. The reason is simple. Everyone, including Chiyo and Onogi, felt that even if they failed, Rain Shinobi Village would suffer heavy losses. At that time, they only need to reap the benefits of the fishermen and take advantage of the chaos to obtain benefits. But this kind of unilateral crushing was totally unexpected to them. They can take advantage of Konoha's failure and choose to put pressure on Konoha together. But Konoha's main force is still there. It's not the kind of battle that hurts the enemy 1,000 and self-destroys 800. It is difficult for them to obtain real benefits. Now Rain Shinobi Village has no real losses, and they drove Konoha out of the battlefield, which didn't do much. Danzo is real crap. The junction of Land of Earth and Land of Rain, inside the base camp of Iwagakure. Onoki, who came to the battlefield to command, had a headache. I also hoped that he could consume some of the power of Rain Shinobi Village. I didn't expect that the mother who was beaten directly didn't know him. Anyway, Konoha's high-ranking commander, who was personally appointed by 3rd Hokage, how could he become such a waste? Onoki couldn't figure it out. Just 3,000 pigs, it would take a while for the ninjas from Rain Shinobi Village to kill them. The expected fighter plane did not appear, and he had to continue to wait. At the same time, Chiyo also had the same question. This is a contest between Rain Shinobi Village and Konoha without the involvement of other ninja villages at all. The first ninja village, this is it. Chiyo was full of disdain in her heart, but she admired Hanzo a little. 3,000 ninjas, also known as the elite, were beaten by Hanzo and the people from Rain Shinobi Village without any temper at all. However, Chiyo's war thinking is obviously bolder than Onagi's. After a little thought, she directly started to form troops. Pass the order down, take advantage of the low morale of Konoha's first defeat, and launch an attack. She is too lazy to continue waiting for a fighter. The reason is simple. Compared to Konoha and Iwagakure, the logistics of Sand Shinobi Village has always been a big problem. The daimyo of the Land of Wind has always given little support to Ninja Village. This time she was appointed by Kazekage to command, and she came to the Land of Rain because she wanted to see the actual results of the battle. Sand Shinobi Village is poor, and the longer the war drags on, the worse it will be for them. Moreover, if the stalemate continues and no benefits can be obtained, it will completely disappoint the daimyo of the Land of Wind who is already impatient. Like Konoha, Sand Shinobi Village needs a win. Now that Danzo has broken the balance of Rain Shinobi Village with her failure, she can't be blamed for taking over the battlefield of the Land of Rain. Because of Danzo's actions, the smell of gunpowder in the entire war began to permeate. But compared with the enthusiasm of the Kingdom of Rain, in the Land of Fire, Konoha Village, the atmosphere is a bit dignified. The first ninja village lost. Also lost quite tragically. This made Konoha Shinobi, known as the #1 ninja village, somewhat unacceptable after the First Ninja World War. Inside Hokage's office, Sarutobi Hiruzen was smoking a pipe, staring at the battle report on the desk. After a long time, anger flashed in his eyes. He picked up the battle report and threw it on the ground, and stood up vigorously. Waste. The extremely pertinent two-word evaluation made the temperature in the office drop a bit. Just when Sarutobi urgently needed a victory to prove his wise leadership, his old partner gave him a big gift. At the desk, the ninjas waiting for Lord Hokage's order looked at each other, and no one asked about the next battle plan. Master Hokage, the latest information. In the Land of Rain, the Sand Shinobi Village ninjas who were waiting to see are approaching us. The dull atmosphere was broken, and the rapidly changing situation on the battlefield brought people back to reality. Rushing into the office, the half-kneeling intelligence ninja waited for the order from the third generation. Now, everyone knows that Konoha lost the first battle, and Sand Shinobi Village's thoughts are not difficult to guess. The behavior of adding insult to injury is very common in the ninja world. Danzo is seriously injured, let him rest for the time being, and let Hatake Tsukumo take charge of Sand Shinobi Village. After thinking for a while, Sarutobi waved his hand in a somewhat dispirited manner. Those people are on the front line, and Danzo can't use it for the time being, so he can only let Hatake Tsukumo take over the command position again. As for my 3 disciples, I need to bring people to keep the base camp, in case Rain Shinobi Village takes advantage of the victory to pursue them. After receiving Hokage's order, the ninjas in the office finally breathed a sigh of relief, and filed out. However, the ninja in charge of intelligence did not leave. After everyone exited, he took out another confidential document from his pocket. Master Hokage, this is the latest news from the country of Uzumaki. The country of the vortex. Sarutobi frowned. Now he has no extra energy to investigate the problems of the Uzumaki family. After taking the file and opening it for a glance, Sarutobi's unattractive face turned livid again. Snapped. When he slapped the table, Master Ningxiong let out a roar. You Uzumaki clan. Crunch. The door to Hokage's office was pushed open. A figure appeared at the door of the office. A cold voice came faintly. Sarutobi, who gave your dog gall? How dare you insult my Uzumaki clan? Chapter 31. Water. Master Mito. Sarutobi was dumbfounded. In Hokage's office, few people would just push the door and enter. So when he was extremely angry, he didn't pay much attention to the situation. But this person in front of him is one of the rare people who is fully qualified to enter the office without notification. Uzumaki Mito. Konoha Village First Generation Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. He is also a person respected by Senju Hashirama, and after the death of first Hokage, he guarded the village on his behalf. Just Sarutobi Hiruzen gets a piece of news that makes him extremely angry. However, under normal circumstances, he would not lose his composure when he heard the news. But today was different from the past. Danzo's big defeat made him feel bad. And at this time, he learned that the Uzumaki clan sent him to the daimyo of Uzumaki, after killing all the guardian ninjas at the confidant level. He went completely berserk. The information was sent by a person entrusted by the daimyo. In addition to the complaints against the Uzumaki family, there are other news. The Uzumaki clan suddenly changed their nature, no longer being self-sufficient sheep, and the first move is a killer move. Immediately, the Uzumaki kingdom will be under the control of the Uzumaki family again, and they are trying to forcibly collect 90% of the Uzumaki tax revenue every quarter as protection fees. This situation was completely unexpected. He even suspected that the Uzumaki clan chose to do this because they definitely knew some secrets about the invasion war. Judging from the information sent back by the daimyo of Uzumaki, the Uzumaki clan who went to the daimyo mansion did not intend to leave any name of guardian ninja at all. They came prepared, even knew the identities of those guardian ninjas. This made him have to do some thinking. But the sudden arrival of the person in front of him made his thinking a little stuck. Carefully sizing out the other party's expression, Sarutobi's face was full of embarrassment. The person in front of her is graceful, and the years have not left any traces on her body. Even the nobility of the superior person on his body gave him the illusion that he wanted to surrender when facing the queen. It was a kind of beauty with indifference in elegance. If Su Feng was present, he would definitely be quite puzzled. The reason is simple. The situation in the original book has changed dramatically. Uzumaki Mido, who should have been extremely old, now had the 100 Healings mark logo on his forehead extremely obvious. She maintained the appearance of her youth, mature and noble. Judging from her appearance, her 100 Healings mark imprint, which is exactly the same as Tsunade, seems to fit her temperament very well. This is completely different from the original. But Su Feng was not there after all, and he couldn't get to the bottom of what happened to her. At this moment, this noble woman, with a sense of oppression all over her body, was waiting for Sarutobi Hiruzen to give her an answer. Master Mido, this is a misunderstanding. Sarutobi hastily opened his mouth to explain. Only this woman, in the temporary stage, he can't offend at all. After the death of first Hokage, her existence was the spiritual banner of Konoha for a long time. At the very least, he must be patient until the Senju clan's influence on Konoha is completely curtailed. It's the battle report ahead. I made a slip of the tongue. This reason is far-fetched and terrible. But Uzumaki Mido didn't delve into it. Taking a deep look at Sarutobi Hiruzen, she seemed to have seen through all the thoughts of the person in front of her. Only this one time, opening his mouth quietly, Uzumaki Mido stopped oppressing Hokage-sama, and then continued speaking. Just this once is just this once. Next time she hears such rumors, she doesn't mind killing Sarutobi Hiruzen for a Hokage. During the Sengoku period, under the influence of someone's mind. This woman is the most terrifying inheritor. Even the tone of voice is very similar to someone. How about my family come in? Not only is it good, it's too good. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded with a forced smile. Although they were attacked a while ago, for some unknown reason, the Uzumaki family did not suffer much damage. It is rumored that a strong man has appeared in the family, but his identity is not yet known. The connection between Konoha and Uzumaki seems to be broken. Mysterious powerhouse. Uzumaki Mido was startled, and then fell into thinking. After a long time, she turned around slowly, without even saying hello to Sarutobi, and left Hokage's office. Nine Tails, how long can I last? Under the Hokage building, after Uzumaki Mido regained his calm, his voice was transmitted to the sealed space. My uncle doesn't know. Nine Tails' lazy voice seemed a bit dissatisfied. But you woman, what about it? You're so excited even if your identity is not confirmed. So much so that it's not up to you. But me. With a hint of gentleness on Mido's indifferent face, he walked slowly towards the Senju clan's clan. The country of the vortex. After glancing at the elderly Madara in the land of rain, Su Feng didn't think much about it. Madara's idea was doomed. In his plan, as long as he does not interfere with the development of the Uzumaki clan, it has nothing to do with him. Of course, it is inevitable to find a place for Madara's character to revive in the future. But at that time, it is estimated that he can slap the opponent away with a slap. Whirlpool Village, hang and beat all dissatisfied. With a huge sum of money in his pocket, Su Feng was in a good mood when he returned to Whirlpool Village. Next he plans to do a big job. Upgrade basic buildings, upgrade Ninja Village, and build new buildings. More than 20,000 ethnic power points, it seems like a lot, but it is not worth the effort. So how to use these power points to maximize the benefits, this is what Su Feng should consider. Master Patriarch, according to the news sent back by our spies, the daimyo of Uzumaki country has taken action. But as soon as Su Feng came back, Uzumaki Ryuji approached the door. Every move of the daimyo of the Vortex country is under the control of Su Feng, only he himself does not know it. Su Feng nodded, this is a signal. A head-to-head confrontation between Uzushio village and Konoha. It's not far away. Let Uzumaki Ryuji go to his work. Inside the Holy Land, Su Feng was lost in thought. Opening the system panel, a bird's eye view of the entire Uzushio village instantly appeared in front of him. Host: Uzumaki Su Feng. Belonging to the ethnic group, Uzumaki family. Ethnic faction: Eddy Tide Village LV1. Ethnic group population: 887 people including the resurrected population. Exclusive buildings for ethnic groups: Resurrection Crystal LV1, Arsenal LV1, Guard Enchantment LV1, Chakra Arrow Tower LV1, Job Transfer Temple LV1. Clan Power Points: 23,400. Looking at the LV1 of Uzumaki Village, the upgrade conditions of the forces it belongs to clearly appear. Promotion conditions: exclusive building for LV2 group 0/5. Successful job transfer population: 50 people 30/50. Patriarch occupation level: LV60. 52/60. Clan force points consumed: 5,000. 4 conditions: apart from being rich, Uzumaki Village has nothing to satisfy. Su Feng was silent for a while and started his planning. Upgrading Ninja Village is inevitable. This is the base camp of Uzumaki Village, and it needs to be well built. In the future, Infinite Tsukuyomi plans to toss and toss on Madara's side, but Su Feng, who knows the final result, doesn't pay attention. What he thinks about is how strong the mysterious Otsutsuki family is after the story is over. Will Ushio Village be able to fight against the real Otsutsuki clan by then? Fortunately, there is still a lot of time. This is Su Feng's confidence. Upgrading the level of the faction you belong to will unlock new buildings and give the group new characteristics. This is what Su Feng knew from the very beginning. Resurrection Crystal, Arsenal, Guard Barrier, Arrow Tower and Job Transfer Temple. Exactly 5 buildings. What is more humane is that the number of arrow towers in Uzumaki Village is not a single one. After asking the system, Su Feng found that all the arrow towers will become LV2 only by upgrading the arrow towers on the system panel. This can save a lot of family effort. Rough calculation. There are 5 buildings, and each building upgrade costs 1,000 points, totaling 5,000 points. And the family force points to upgrade are also 5,000. In this calculation, there are only 13,400 clan power points left in his hands. It's just some buildings. Su Feng didn't just plan to upgrade to LV2 and end it. Such as Armory and Job Transfer Temple. The arsenal is the basis for him to obtain a large amount of clan power points, and the Transfer Temple is the key for the entire Uzumaki clan, including himself, to improve his strength. When Ninja Village is at level 1, the upper limit of the building level is LV3. At LV2, the level cap will become LV5. Stop thinking. Su Feng stretched out his fingers to emptiness, and clicked the plus sign behind the 5 buildings. Ding! The level of your ethnic group's exclusive building arsenal has increased, and the current level is LV2. Ding! The level of your group's exclusive building guard barrier has increased, and the current level is LV2. Ding! The Chakra Arrow Tower, the exclusive building for your ethnic group, has been upgraded to level LV2. Ding! The Resurrection Crystal level of your group's exclusive building has increased, and the current level is LV2. Ding! The level of your ethnic group's exclusive building Transfer Temple has increased, and the current level is LV2. The crisp system prompt sound is extremely pleasant. which means that the level of all 5 buildings has been upgraded, and it also means that the power points of 5,000 clans have been lost in an instant. Su Feng didn't feel distressed. This is a link that must be experienced. He scanned the attributes of those buildings again. Every building has some property changes. The Resurrection Crystal LV2 of the ethnic group has changed from the original half-a-year cooldown period to 3 months, and the resurrection process has also been shortened to 1 minute, which is a good guarantee. The changes in the Armory LV2 are very interesting. In addition to the change in production, the strength of weapons and equipment produced in LV2 has once again increased, and there are new products. New product: Advanced Fine Iron Kunai, 30 per day, Advanced Fine Iron Shuriken, 30 per day, Super Premium Detonating Talisman, 10 per day, Intermediate Disposable Ninjutsu Scroll, 5 per day, Basic Katana Sword, 5, Sky. In addition to the quality improvement, there is also an intermediate ninjutsu scroll and katana forging options. Needless to say, the samurai sword is much more practical than the common samurai sword in the ninja world. And the intermediate ninjutsu scroll can send B-level ninjutsu smoothly, which is a huge killing move. The strength of B-level ninjutsu is not comparable to that of C-level ninjutsu. What made Su Feng even more delighted was that the basic equipment that the arsenal could produce before still retains the forging option, but the forging quantity has been greatly improved. Previously, kunai was produced every day, 30 shurikens per day, 10 high-quality detonating charms, and 5 disposable ninjutsu scrolls. And now the basic props for sale have been doubled, 60 kunai shurikens, 20 detonators, and 10 ninjutsu scrolls per day. Su Feng thought about it and made a decision. He doesn't plan to sell the high-quality props after the upgrade of the arsenal. The good things are reserved for his clansmen. With the super high-quality detonating charm and intermediate ninjutsu scroll, the life-saving ability of the clansman has increased a lot in an instant. In this way, he can let his clansmen go out to level up, raise the level to the upper limit in the shortest time, and enhance the fighting ability of Uzumaki village. However, the business of samurai swords can be added. There are quite a few samurai following Hanzo in Rain Shinobi village, and there will be a market for selling them. The level 2 arsenal gave him a lot of surprises. Doubling the daily production resources is enough for the temporary stage. Money equals clan power. Clan strength is equal to one's own strength and clan strength. In this regard, Su Feng thought very openly. After the business stabilized, he planned to build a team of mercenaries. During the war, the money for mercenaries came the fastest. While going out to experience an upgrade, while making money, there is no delay in the two. The existence of the arsenal is of strategic significance to Uzumaki village, and is a top priority for the Uzumaki clan. But this is financial. The real source of power for a family belongs to the job-changing temple. Looking over curiously, Su Feng had a little surprise in his eyes. Job Transfer Temple LV2, the number of clan members who can transfer job every day has been increased. It used to be 3 clan members per day, but now it is 10. Su Feng doesn't care about the number of job transfers. After all, if there is time, sooner or later all the clansmen will be transferred to Mad Warriors. What Su Feng cares about is that the training tasks have been improved, and his exclusive task rewards as the Patriarch have also been improved. The number of training tasks has also changed. This means that the daily limit of the strength of the clansmen has been increased. And Su Feng's own level will also be upgraded a lot faster due to the changing speed of exclusive task rewards. In addition, some skills that had been deleted appeared on his skills panel as the Patriarch. Such as Blood Gas Shunt. The introduction was simple and crude. The transformation of life force is very similar to the technique of reincarnation in this world. What is stronger than reincarnation is that what Su Feng consumes is his own blood energy to bestow vitality to others, while reincarnation consumes the vitality. In other words, even if Jinchuriki is stripped of the tail beast, he can save people with just a blood diversion. This seems to be implying something. Su Feng rolled his eyes. Overall, the improvement Su Feng wanted has already been achieved. Task volume, task rewards, transformation speed. The level 2 transfer temple did not disappoint him. In addition to these 3 buildings, the Guardian Ward and the Chakra Arrow Tower have also been upgraded. The guard barrier is tougher, and the security level of Uzumaki village has been greatly improved. The chakra arrow tower is simpler and rougher, and the attack with chakra attribute changes will make the enemy hard to defend. This large-scale upgrade made Su Feng very satisfied. The direction of what to do next has been determined. After the building upgrade, the first condition and the second condition for the ninja village upgrade are no longer a problem. The third condition is related to Su Feng's level. He wants to raise his level to LV60 in the shortest possible time. In the short term, Uzumaki Su Feng only has this one goal. Level 60 is a huge improvement for him and the Uzumaki clan. Besides, the deal with Rain Shinobi Village cannot be missed. But this time there is no need for Su Feng to go there. When he left last time, His Excellency Banshin said that he would ask someone to bring money to the Whirlpool Village after a month. After explaining to Uzumaki Ryuji, Su Feng started his own practice. Everything in Uzumaki Village is in full swing. Reconstruction, development, and the strength of the clansmen are improving every day. But in the ninja world, the flames of war have been completely ignited. The country of rain, with Hatake Tsukumo leading Konoha Shinobi and Sand Shinobi Village to confront each other head-on, the Second Ninja World War started completely. Originally, Onogi, who planned to watch the fire from the other side, found that Chiyo actually chose to face Konoha, which completely disrupted his plan. He was afraid that Konoha would end in a fiasco, so he shamelessly chose to stab Chiyo in the back. Attacked from both sides, Sand Shinobi Village suffered heavy losses. And Hanzo of the Salamander, who has been helped by high-end weapons, is not willing to be lonely, and no one is used to taking people around to set fires, as long as it is not the ninjas of Rain Shinobi Village, kill them directly. This made the situation in Rain Shinobi Village extremely chaotic. The country of fire, Konoha, Hokage office. Sarutobi Hiruzen had a strange expression at this moment. It would not be an exaggeration to say it was a mixed blessing. The latest news from the battlefield came back. Hatake Tsukumo led Konoha Shinobi and played a match with Onoki, defeating Sand Shinobi Village. This is a good thing. However, Hatake Tsukumo, frowning, Sarutobi Hiruzen fell into thought. He had Danzo go to the front, just not to make someone too obvious. The idea of third generation is simple. He wants to let people know that Konoha's final victory in the Second Ninja World War must be due to his Hokage lineage, not others. But Hatake Tsukumo's performance is somewhat eye-catching. Commanding on the front line before, Konoha took advantage of a lot. Danzo was injured, which gave the man a chance. But now, he has to let Hatake Tsukumo continue to perform, which is a bit of a headache. Repelling Sand Shinobi Village is good news for Konoha, but a little trickier for Sarutobi. The really good news for him is that he dispatched the so-called Senju clan who had been integrated into Konoha Village from Konoha Village, and they had all been thrown into the battlefield. Now, the former Senju clan members are secretly carrying out various difficult tasks under the command of Danzo. And this time, Danzo didn't let him down. Some people are really talented internally. This is true for both Sarutobi and Danzo. With them, Konoha will definitely thrive. Lord Third Hokage is quite sure of this. He is the sunshine on the surface, and Danzo is the root in the ground. With such cooperation, why don't you worry about Konoha not rising? Master Hokage, this is the latest news from Master Danzo. An intelligence ninja walked in, put down the file respectfully and walked out. Didn't the news come back yesterday? Sarutobi frowned, and opened it with some doubts. What surprised him was that besides the text, there was also a kunai wrapped in the document. Rain Shinobi Village's weapon has a problem. It failed last time. It's not my responsibility. The content of the document is concise and to the point. The corner of third generation's mouth twitched. He was used to his old partner's daily behavior of throwing blame. But, this is suffering. Sarutobi grabbed the kunai and waved it. His expression changed drastically, and he quickly took out a common kunai for comparison. Anyway, it is Hokage, so it is natural to have eyesight. Secret Order Danzo, investigate the source of weapons in Rain Shinobi Village. The battlefield of the Kingdom of Rain remains the same. It is very hot outside, but Uzumaki Village is developing extremely fast. Half a month passed in a flash, and the job transfer plan of Uzumaki Village was more than half completed. There is also a lot of inventory in the arsenal. Su Feng, on the other hand, was dedicated to completing the tasks in the transfer temple every day. Ding! Congratulations to host for completing 500 basic training missions, your physical fitness has improved slightly. Ding! Congratulations to host for completing the exclusive task of patrolling the territory, your stamina has been improved. Ding! Congratulations to host for completing the rare mission and declaring sovereignty. You have been rewarded with a LV boost +3. Your current level is LV 60. Your blood power has been slightly increased, and your perception range has been slightly increased. The country of the vortex. Daming house. Su Feng came out refreshed. As for why he is here, the reason is very simple. When he first upgraded the basic buildings, he found that upgrading the LV2 buildings to LV3 required 3,000 family strength points, which was tripled compared to the level from LV1 to LV2, which was extremely exaggerated. So he decided to wait and see and talk. But after he did the LV2 job transfer temple training mission for a few days, his mind changed. Rare missions, epic missions, legendary missions. This is an extra task option for the LV2 job transfer temple compared to LV1. But after a few days, he realized that something was wrong. The chances of refreshing the rare mission for the LV2 job transfer temple were too low. So Su Feng didn't wait any longer, and completed the LV3 job transfer temple upgrade plan with a wave of his hand. Just now, he submitted 3 tasks. A basic training, which is available to all clansmen. The exclusive task of the territory belongs to him. But today, I was so lucky that I refreshed the rare mission. It is also very simple to complete the mission conditions. Just swear an oath of sovereignty. So he rushed to the daimyo mansion without saying a word, and slapped the daimyo of the country of Vortex hard in front of daimyo's ignorant subordinates. The daimyo himself was at fault. After all, he had been communicating with Konoha a few days ago, and after these slaps, he didn't dare to fart. Now, the entire Uzumaki country's daimyo's subordinate forces know that if they see red-haired people, they will walk away, or they will take the initiative to salute and ask questions. So, violently beating a daimyo who betrayed the country is clearly a declaration of sovereignty. Quite logically, Su Feng's swearing in sovereignty rare mission is completed. He doesn't know if this is a card bug, but the actual rewards have been distributed. Finally, the 4 conditions required to upgrade Ninja Village are all completed. Back in Uzumaki Village, Su Feng took a deep breath and opened the system panel, and then clicked add behind the faction he belonged to. Would you like to spend 5,000 points of clan power to upgrade the group's power? Yes. Boom. When Su Feng decided on the option, the number of gold rays fell from the sky. Immediately afterwards, earth-shaking changes took place in the entire Uzumaki village. The ground trembled and space distorted. When everything calmed down, all the clansmen were shocked to find that the scope of the island they were originally on had been increased by more than 3 times, and the entire Uzumaki village had been expanded strangely. And those homestays that they had re-established, looked more grand from the outside. As for the buildings built by Su Feng before, they are even more brilliant. Upgrading Ninja Village also comes with special effects. Su Feng smiled slightly. He could feel that the scope of the entire Uzumaki village had grown a lot, and the protective barrier had also expanded accordingly. The overall magnification, but without the awkward feeling brought by simple magnification, this is the power of the system. Ding! Congratulations to host for completing the Ninja Village upgrade, your ethnic group characteristics have changed. Ding! The characteristic 1 of your group illusion immunity has been strengthened, and the illusion rebound attribute has been added. Ding! Detect that your ethnic group has reached LV2, and open new feature options, ignore pain, quick healing, both offense and defense, please host to choose. The continuous system prompts brought a smile to Su Feng's indifferent face. Feature 1 has been upgraded. In addition to illusion immunity, it also comes with an illusion rebound effect. This means that it is obvious that whoever uses illusion on the Uzumaki family will not be affected, but the caster will be backlashed by his own illusion. This feature has been upgraded quite well. Su Feng really wants to know, if Madara releases infinite Tsukuyomi in the future, all the people of the Uzumaki clan will be affected. What will happen to Madara? Get hit by hundreds of infinite Tsukuyomi at once. But at that time, Madara had Rinnegan, and it is unknown whether it will be controlled. Feature upgrades are a good thing, and Ninja World Illusion is very evil, which is one of the trump cards of the Uzumaki family. As for the remaining 3 characteristics, Su Feng took a little look and finally chose the option that replaced illusion immunity at first. Ignore pain. The effect of any attack on the Uzumaki family will be reduced by 30%. This feature can be upgraded. The higher the level of the Uzumaki family's force, the stronger the effect. Simple and crude attributes are often the most useful. Su Feng is too lazy to guess how strong the Red Dogs of Uzumaki village will be in the future. Being able to resist and fight is just the foundation. Master Patriarch, the people from Rain Shinobi village have come early. Just when Su Feng was looking at his remaining clan strength and the new buildings that could be built in the LV2 Uzumaki village, Uzumaki Ryuji rushed over. Rain Shinobi village. Lord Demigod really and Shigur. Su Feng smiled slightly, and the money sender came. When returning from the previous deal with Rain Shinobi village, Su Feng had a total of 23,000 clan points. It cost 8,000 to upgrade the building, and 5,000 to upgrade the ninja village. In addition to the rewards obtained from the daily ninja village development task, there are 12,700 active clan power points left in the hand. Having just upgraded, Su Feng was not in a hurry to meet the emissary of Rain Shinobi village. Last time I greeted Hanzo, if I didn't get permission to enter Uzushio village, I can't blame others for being killed. So the ninjas of Rain Shinobi village found a mobile base in Uzumaki, where they are waiting for the next batch of supplies. Ninja village has just been promoted to LV2, and Su Feng sweeps to the new building list. Compared with the previous buildings like Chakra Arrow Tower and Guardian Barrier, after the level is raised to LV2, the open buildings have more functions. And he has 2 goals. The first one is the ethnic group exclusive mall mentioned earlier. This mall is very interesting. It is divided into the tribe section and the patriarch section. Clan people can use currency to buy groceries, and the currency will be automatically converted into clan power and returned to Su Feng's system panel. Of course, this is not an act of cutting leaks. The people in the clan section buy some regular props and groceries. The price is much lower than the market price, which is a bonus. Uzushio village was previously self-sufficient, but not rich. Su Feng gave them strength, and the construction of an exclusive shopping mall for the ethnic group means that from today onwards, they will be truly self-produced and self-sold. If you see the good things inside, it will also stimulate the desire of the ethnic group to buy. It won't be long before Su Feng will ask the Uzumaki clan to build a mercenary team, and he will only take a small part of the money he gets from performing the mission. The remaining money will naturally be exchanged for material rewards. Of course, in addition to material rewards, you can also spend money to refresh the basic tasks in the job transfer temple. If you are lucky enough to refresh to the advanced task, the reward you get will far exceed the value of the money itself. Similarly, the money obtained in all system buildings will be converted into clan power and returned to Su Feng itself. It's a virtuous cycle. Compared with the purchase section of the tribe, Su Feng, as the patriarch, will refresh the rare items from time to time in the purchase section, but if he needs to buy things, he will not spend money, but clan strength points. Ethnic group exclusive shopping mall. This is the first building that Su Feng is eyeing. The second one is the building that he focused on when he completed the initial mission. At that time, he wanted to build it, but it was a pity that the level of Ninja Village was not enough, so he could only watch. Ethnic Group Totem. It is also a building unlocked by LV2. If the exclusive shopping mall for the ethnic group is the welfare of the clansmen, then this ethnic group totem is a real source of combat power, and it is simpler and more rude to use. However, compared to the basic building, the basic construction cost of the functional building unlocked by LV2 is 1,000 points of family power, and upgrading from LV1 to LV2 requires 5,000 points. After a rough calculation, Su Feng chose to build with a wave of his hand. Do you want to spend 1,000 points of clan strength to build a clan exclusive shopping mall? Do you want to spend 1,000 points of clan strength to build a clan totem? Su Feng quickly confirmed. Then, instead of viewing the building properties directly, he directly clicked on the plus sign behind the building. Swish twice. The family power was squandered, and only 700 were left. This time, he focused on the function of the building. Clan Totem LV2. Based on the power of the clan's bloodline, use clan power points to strengthen yourself. Function Introduction. host can spend clan strength points to strengthen the bloodline foundation of the whole clan, and as the clan leader, host enjoys double the effect. Bloodline enhancement. The Uzumaki bloodline in Uzumaki village is currently at LV1 level. Each enhancement costs 1000 family strength points, and each enhancement will greatly increase the purity of the Uzumaki family's bloodline, and comprehensively improve their own attributes. It is detected that the building is LV2, and the upper limit of strengthening is LV20. Tips. The Uzumaki family is the descendant of the Otsutsuki family. When it is strengthened to LV50, the Uzumaki family will complete the first transformation, and the transformation effect is equal to the blood purity of Sage of Six Paths. And the host will achieve transcendence and transformation, and the purity of blood will far exceed the level of the Otsutsuki family, reaching a new level. Note: each upgrade of this totem will increase the upper limit of the strengthening level. When the building reaches the full level, the real blood of the gods and demons will be unlocked. The power of blood. This is destined to be a world of fighting bloodlines, and when one's own bloodline surpasses the previous ancestors, what level will it be? Su Feng couldn't say well either. After all, the most advanced bloodline in the ninja world is the Otsutsuki family, and this bloodline strengthening totem can even strengthen the bloodline to a higher level than the Otsutsuki family. And what is the last real bloodline of gods and demons? Su Feng is still unclear. But this building is destined to be simple and crude, and it is also the most direct source of power. So Su Feng's current goal is to strengthen the bloodline of the ethnic totem to LV20. This thing has an effect like adding points. The above explanation is very clear. Every time the body is strengthened, the quality of the body will be greatly improved. What is the effect of LV20? It is not yet known. Slowing down, Su Feng glanced at the Patriarch template in the clan-exclusive mall again. It really didn't disappoint him. What the ninja world has, it has all of these. What the ninja world didn't have before, now there are. There are all kinds of strange things, and there are even some fabricated things out of thin air. For example, the Tailed Beast Liberation Scroll, which actually allows the Tailed Beast to achieve the real Tailed Beast mode without staying in Jinchuriki's body from now on. Taking a look at the pitiful few hundred points of clan power remaining, Su Feng rolled his eyes. It's almost there, the money sender has already come to the door, and he doesn't bother to put on a show. However, Hanzo sent someone half a month earlier this time. What was the reason? He had to ask. Tell me, why didn't you come within the agreed time limit? The country of the vortex. Somewhere in the stronghold of Uzumaki village. Su Feng sat calmly on the chair, looking down at the range shinobi village ninja who seemed to be a little afraid of him. This kid looked familiar. It seemed that he was there when he beat Hanzo himself last time. My lord, after you left the Kingdom of Rain, the situation on the battlefield has become somewhat complicated. We Rain Shinobi Village, Konoha, Sand Shinobi Village, and Iwagakure are in melee mode right now. Wars broke out too frequently, and our supplies were consumed quickly. Now the detonating charms and disposable ninjutsu scrolls have been completely used up, and there are not many shurikens left. If Kuwu. Speaking of it, it seems a little embarrassing. The Rain Shinobi Village ninja paused, and continued to speak. I don't know what's going crazy on Konoha's side recently. They desperately wanted to save our lives. A large part of Kunai was confiscated. So, the leader asked me to come here early, because I want to ask if your new supplies can be brought forward. A few words let Su Feng know the current situation on the battlefield. The Second Ninja World War was originally a melee. Although in the middle of the war, the angry Hanzo directly declared war on Konoha, Sand Shinobi Village, and Iwagakure at the same time, but it was not Rain Shinobi Village 1v3 at all. If it weren't for fear that the interests of the Rain country would be taken away by one of the villages, the Rain Shinobi Village wouldn't last long under the alliance of the three parties. But even so, from the meaning of this kid's words, he can also feel the pressure that Hanzo is facing at the moment. There is no problem with the supplies, the quantity is just too much. How much money did you bring? Su Feng raised his eyebrows, looking expectantly at the Rain Shinobi Village ninja. Ah, the leader thought that the second transaction was still the same amount as last time, so I only brought 2.3 million. The kid was obviously taken aback. He said that he was really worried about the rumored ancestor Uzumaki who was playing tricks. After all, Even their leader is not the enemy of this strong man, let alone him. So after being ordered to go to the country of Vortex, he felt very uneasy. That's all. Su Feng was a little disappointed. But the ninja from Rain Shinobi Village's eyes lit up when he heard this, and he quickly explained. Don't worry, if the supplies are still sufficient, I will make another trip. That's about the same. Su Feng nodded, and skillfully threw several sealing scrolls to the opponent. The kid didn't have any ink marks, and he paid the money and delivered the goods. The transaction process was quite pleasant. Su Feng didn't think about black and white. The reason is very simple, just like he didn't directly destroy a ninja village to steal money. In his eyes, all ninja villages are like sheep. He doesn't have the experience to manage so much. Isn't it good to smooth the wool? After destroying Ninja Village, I have to take over the management, which is a headache just thinking about it. Let Ninja Village collect money, saving time and effort. Maybe in the future he will carry out a unified plan, but definitely not at this stage. Oh, right. As if thinking of something, Su Feng looked up and down the ninja from Rain Shinobi Village. My people can only guarantee that you are safe within the scope of the Vortex country. If you are robbed outside the Vortex country, it has nothing to do with me. This ancestor really thought about me. The Rain Shinobi Village ninja was very moved, and then nodded quickly. I understand the rules. For the sake of safe transactions, Lord Hanzo has placed many people on the roads of the Land of Vortex and the Land of Rain. Don't worry. That's fine. Su Feng waved his hand, indicating that he can leave now. After getting the money, he directly exchanged it for clan power, and he didn't stay in the stronghold any longer. After arranging a few men to escort the kid away, he got up and rushed to the Whirlpool village. The family strength is sufficient. First come 20 rounds of bloodline enhancement. Master Danzo, it's been 2 days, the powerful detonating charm, and that strange ninjutsu scroll. People in Rain Shinobi Village don't use it anymore. In the Land of Rain. Ever since getting slapped in the face by Rain Shinobi Village last time, Danzo has been looking for a reason. Of course, from Danzo's perspective, it is absolutely impossible for the problem to appear on him. So after learning from the pain and recovering from his injuries, he started a new round of exploration. Sure enough, it didn't take long for him to discover the problem. After capturing the strange kunai, he instantly understood where he failed. Organize death squads. Consume the resources in the opponent's hands. He didn't believe that the powerful detonator would be endless. His old partner in the village asked him to investigate the source of resources, and at the same time asked him to consume more members of the Senju clan. In this way, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, just let Senju's people go directly. After several days in a row, he finally got his chance. It has been 2 days, and the detonating talisman with strong lethality has never been seen again, and the opportunity he has been waiting for has finally come. Send down the order to get those people on the front line to retreat and gather all the ninjas of the Shimura family and the Sarutobi family. The old man wants to be ashamed. Naturally, the credit cannot be given to those so-called Senju clan who merged into Konoha, it can only belong to him, Shimura Danzo. The sudden order made the messenger ninja apply for awe. Danzo-sama, you are serious. The order was issued quickly, but the Sarutobi and Shimura clans who had been attacked once before obviously did not have much fighting spirit. So putting it together took a lot of time. Little did Danzo know that during the vacuum of ink between the 2 races, several scrolls had fallen into the hands of the Hanzo of the Salamander. Finally come. For several days in a row, Hanzo, who was brutally attacked by Senju's suicide attack, was holding back a burst of anger. Naturally, he didn't know the specific identities of those Konoha ninjas. He only knew that compared with those brought by Danzo before, the new enemies were extremely brave and fearless, with a different aura. But no matter who, the moment he got Hanzo's supplies, he decided not to endure anymore. Pass the order. Organize a counterattack today. The country of rain. Above the hills, Danzo stared forward with a ferocious face. The ninja troops have assembled. Ahead is the sphere of influence of Rain Shinobi Village. Unlike the previous contest, this is an unprecedented frontal battle. He made the mistake of underestimating the enemy before, although Danzo himself would not admit it. But right now, in this head-on confrontation, he never believed that he would fail. Of the direct descendants of the Sarutobi and Shimura clans before, about 1,000 of the 3,000 people remained because of that defeat, and now these people have been recruited from the Fire Nation. They all belong to the direct lineage of Hokage. After the supplement, he still holds 3,500 ninja troops in his hands. After today, the ninja world will know who is the strongest man in the Tibetan generation. Without him, since the last time Danzo got slapped by Hanzo of the Salamander, there have been some gossips from Rain Shinobi village. For example, Hanzo, who claims to be a demigod, has a lot of disdain for Danzo. Nothing else. Hanzo appreciates young and strong men, but Danzo's age can't be called an old man, but he can't stand him growing old, and his strength is really average. So Hanzo didn't like it at all. He even said that Danzo didn't deserve to have a Tibetan word in his name. This made Danzo extremely angry. Today, he gambled the dignity of a man of the Tibetan generation, and made Hanzo of the Salamander pay the price. Kill. As usual, give orders simply and clearly. The members of the Sarutobi clan side, this was a complete tactical failure. Even now, they are skeptical about third Hokage giving Danzo so much power. But the people of the Shimura clan could only obey orders and launch the attack first. In the distance, Hanzo of the Salamander, who witnessed everything, had a sneer on his face. Confrontation. He doesn't care at all. Just now, his subordinate who went to Uzumaki village to trade had told him that the ancestor of Uzumaki still had a lot of supplies. So he didn't plan to save supplies in this frontal battle. 50 high-quality detonating charms have been bundled and distributed on the common kunai, and the ninjas responsible for throwing shurikens have already ambushed along the way, waiting for the detonating charm to explode as the signal. Compared with Danzo's simple tactical thinking, he has already thought of all possibilities. This head-on confrontation is also to make sure that the other two ninja villages are fighting at the moment and have no time to separate themselves, so they attack so decisively. Even Mr. Demigod, who knew early on that Danzo would choose a frontal attack, even played the trick of luring the enemy deep. The battlefield is changing rapidly. When the battle between the two sides started, the ninjas of Rain Shinobi village began to retreat steadily. Sure enough, without such powerful weapons, the so-called demigods are vulnerable. Seeing this scene, a smile appeared on Danzo's distorted face. Master Danzo is wise and mighty. Beside him, a member of the Shimura clan was full of admiration. I am ready, waiting for you to defeat Hanzo of the Salamander and take back your title of demigod. Sensible. Danzo nodded in satisfaction. Demigod. Although he didn't care about this title, it was still very useful in his heart when he thought of someone calling him that in the future. Looking back at the battlefield, Danzo nodded again. Everything seems to be developing as he imagined. Without the blessing of powerful weapons, the entire Rain Shinobi village was beaten back steadily, with no power to parry at all. But just when he was about to continue giving orders and take down Rain Shinobi village in one go, an accident happened suddenly. Boom, boom, comma. The ground began to tremble. The detonating talisman with soaring power instantly ignited the entire battlefield. The Hanzo who risked his money was terrible. Half of the first wave of raids with 50 high-quality detonating symbols was used. And he didn't keep the ninjutsu scrolls, and threw them all at Konoha shinobi in one breath. The Konoha shinobi, who were still in the raid state before, hadn't recovered at all, and they couldn't stop their progress at all. The explosion of the detonating symbol was like a signal, and the ninjas of Rain Shinobi village began to counterattack in an instant. The battlefield changed drastically in an instant. How can it be? Danzo, who watched this scene, was cracked. Didn't it mean that their resources have been exhausted? How so? It's over. That was Danzo's only thought before fleeing the battlefield. Yes, he is good at fleeing the battlefield. The same goes for the original. He was unscathed during the Nine Tails Rebellion, and it wasn't Nagado's turn to revive him when Pen came. This is the gift of his Shimura Danzo. The tide of battle turned. Under Hanzo's command, it was only a matter of time before Konoha's defeat. But this time, Danzo seems to be smarter. Before evacuating, he arranged some secret sentries. Dark Whistle is affiliated with Roots, which is Danzo's own organization. But the purpose of these secret whistles is not to counterattack, but to keep an eye on the movements of Rain Shinobi village. Danzo vaguely felt that he was cheated, but there was no evidence. The existence of Root's secret whistle is to collect evidence. Of course, Danzo didn't admit that he was trying to get rid of the blame. He is for Konoha, for the village, ... the country of fire. Konoha. Inside Hokage's office, Sarutobi has been in a good mood recently. Danzo's ability to cheat his own people has not declined because of the cerebral hemorrhage. Therefore, he has often received news about the Senju clan's battle damage recently. At this moment, he is working with his subordinates to formulate a strategy for the Kingdom of Rain. But when pointing Zhongshan, a ninja from the intelligence department rushed in anxiously. It's not good, Hokage-sama. Master Danzo, he, has been defeated again. The flustered ninja dutifully told the information. After all, Master Hokage said that he should be notified as soon as possible about the news about the battlefield in the Land of Rain. Hustle and panic, how decent it is. Victory or defeat is a common matter for military strategists. Come, let's talk about the details. Sarutobi spread his hands and said calmly. Nothing else. What he thought was that Danzo killed a lot of Senju people who had merged into Konoha again. This kind of small-scale defeat is quite acceptable to him. Ah, this. Do you really want to say it? The intelligence department ninja swallowed, and finally reported the battle damage under Sarutobi's expectant eyes. Nearly 60% of your clan is dead, and less than 20% of the Shimura clan is left. Puff. Without ideological construction. After Sarutobi heard the news, he slapped the table and didn't curse out. He was so angry that he vomited blood on the spot. Danzo, does he want to let the old man exterminate his family? Danzo was defeated again. When the news came back to Konoha, the originally gentle atmosphere of the entire Konoha village became silent again. Danzo again. The last time he underestimated the enemy and made an aggressive move, he was the one who gave Konoha his first defeat. The situation in the Land of Rain is complicated. At this juncture, the impact of a large-scale defeat can be imagined. At this moment, whether it is in Konoha village or the Konoha shinobi fighters on the battlefield of the Kingdom of Rain, there are strong doubts about Danzo's command ability. It can be said that you are not familiar with the terrain last time, and you will fail if you are attacked by Rain Shinobi village. What about this time? There has never been a frontal confrontation between the two sides. What excuse do you think Danzo will find this time? The junction of the Land of Fire and the Land of Rain. The disciples of Sarutobi Hiruzen, who had been ordered to defend the base camp, gathered together to discuss something. The young Tsunade had a sneer on his face, expressing disdain for Danzo's failure. What else could it be? Anyway, it's not Danzo's own problem. Jiraiya was a little sad. Ever since Danzo came to the battlefield of the Land of Rain and took over the command position of Hitaki Tsukumo, the rhythm of the whole Konoha has been disrupted. And what's even more irritating is that Danzo directly arranged for them to do logistics work in order to prevent them from winning the battle. Therefore, their specific battle results for Danzo are limited to the word failure, and it is not clear what the situation is. On the other hand, Orochimaru remained silent. He looked at Tsunade, as if he wanted to say something, but in the end he still didn't speak. Orochimaru is somewhat related to Danzo. He knew what Danzo was up to these days. Their respected teacher secretly sent the Senju clan who had integrated into Konoha to the front line. Danzo was even more daring, and used the death squad routine to directly make Senju jump into the fire pit. About all this, Tsunade is completely unaware. Mr. Snake looked at Tsunade with a little pity, but deep down he knew that Senju's ending was inevitable. Since Senju Hashirama explained that the future Senju family will be completely integrated into Konoha. This inevitability is unstoppable. Learn from Uchiha, Hyuga, they have built their own group, what's wrong? Breaking it up into parts or something is completely giving others a chance. Shaking his head, Orochimaru sighed slightly. Although Tsunade is his companion, it is Hokage who stands behind this incident. From his point of view, since he can't stop it, he just watched Senju's end. His respected teacher, in order to stabilize his position, wanted to reduce the influence of the Senju clan, and took this opportunity to lead Konoha to victory. The ending is already doomed. I'm going out for a while. In the corner, a small white snake spit out a letter. Orochimaru narrowed his eyes and greeted the two, and left the camp. Taking a scroll from the mouth of Little White Snake, Mr. Snake glanced at it. The message was delivered by Danzo. But what puzzled Orochimaru was that this time, it was not his strategy to find a reason for himself to blame, but to let him take over a root team. In addition to the response, there is also a tracking task. The task level is listed as S level. On the battlefield, he is the companion of Tsunade and Jiraiya, but at the same time, Orochimaru is also a member of the root, Danzo's immediate subordinate. Kunai that is far beyond the sharpness of ordinary weapons. A shuriken with strong piercing power. A detonating talisman whose explosive power has been increased by more than 3 times. And a scroll that can be used to perform ninjutsu. After reading the information, Orochimaru was stunned. This is the actual content of the S-rank mission released by Danzo. Look for specific sources of these things. Now, the Roots team is tracking down a certain Rain Shinobi village ninja, but seems to be having trouble, getting attacked along the way and needing backup. According to Danzo's guess, the Rain Shinobi village ninja left Rain Shinobi village just to replenish the above supplies. Burning the quest scroll, Orochimaru's stiff face revealed a long-lost look of interest. On the battlefield, when he has seen more about death, he has already become numb. Only this kind of novelty can arouse his longing. Go all the way. When Orochimaru merged with the root team, he moved forward quickly according to the previous tracking route. With the help of Orochimaru, they bypassed the deployment of Rain Shinobi village, followed all the way, and followed each other out of the country of Rain. Watching where the Rain Shinobi village ninja was headed, Orochimaru was lost in thought. It is clearly marked on the map. Ahead, the sphere of influence it belongs to is the country of the vortex. Why is Rain Shinobi village connected with Uzumaki? Does the exaggerated combat equipment written on the mission scroll really exist? If so, how did they create ninjutsu scrolls? At this moment, Orochimaru, who was deep in his own thoughts, had interest in his eyes. The subordinate Genbu next to him looked over, and he seemed to see a light from Orochimaru. Stretching out his weird long tongue, Orochimaru gave a hideous smile. If the war materials really have something to do with the country of the vortex. Relying on the Uzumaki village, which has no fighting spirit and will be wiped out sooner or later, how did they do it? I'm curious. With a wave of his hand, he followed the Rain Shinobi village ninja with his root team and stepped into the sphere of influence of the Uzumaki kingdom. But what he didn't know was, the moment he stepped into the territory of Uzumaki, the Uzumaki tribe who were in charge of supporting the ninjas of Rain Shinobi village instantly discovered his existence. The country of the vortex. Somewhere on the border. The fiery red hair is particularly conspicuous in the sun. And standing in front of the path, the 2 figures, one big and one lower, looked extremely harmonious at the moment. Do you know what I brought you out for today? The slender man spoke slowly. After a brief hesitation, the little girl next to her stretched out a gold chain from her palm. The speed at which the chains wind up to form a blunt sword is much slower than that of a man. But just as Su Feng said, this kind of weapon that can change shape at will during battle is that the weapon after the materialization of chakra is more useful than ordinary swords. Do what the ancestor tells you to do. The little girl swung the blunt sword with a super brave expression on her face. The man is naturally Uzumaki's Su Feng, and the little girl is for the time being his only disciple, Uzumaki Kushina. Now, Uzumaki Kushina didn't know what Patriarch had been up to lately. But the explosive power in her body gave her great confidence. It seems that after the totem-like building appeared, the strength of the entire Uzumaki clan began to advance by leaps and bounds. The strengthening of the ethnic group totem is comprehensive. It is not a single strengthening of a certain direction, but a whole. Whether it is the amount of chakra, or the huge vitality, or the physical fitness, or even the talent, after the blood concentration is increased, they have completed the first transformation. The deal with Hanzo solved the urgent need, and by squandering 20,000 clan power points, Su Feng directly pulled the bloodline enhancement to the upper limit. The people of the tribe, as well as Uzumaki Su Feng himself, have been fully strengthened. To what extent the strength of the Uzumaki family has been improved, Su Feng has not yet checked, but he only said that he himself enjoys the double strengthening effect. Just the strengthening of the bloodline at level 20 gave Su Feng a clear understanding of his own strength. He is confident that even if Madara is driving a Gundam now, he can crush Susanoo with a single strike. This is just the strengthening effect of LV20. In addition to his own strength, he needs to have a general understanding of the situation of the tribe. For example, today he came to the border with Uzumaki Kushina. He planned to find some enemies for his little pepper, and evaluate the effect of the LV-20 bloodline enhancement based on the actual combat situation. In addition, there has been news from Rain Shinobi Village that they are in urgent need of supplies for the third transaction. Su Feng was still short of money, so he took this opportunity to take Kushina for a stroll. But, now his thinking has changed a bit. With an inexplicable meaning in his eyes, Su Feng looked at the position behind the Rain Shinobi Village ninja. He gave the kid a look to let him enter the stronghold of the Uzumaki clan first, and he took Kushina to stand here and wait. The most intuitive effect brought by the double LV-20 bloodline enhancement is the coverage of his Uzumaki Su Feng's Kagura Mind Eye. Previously, he could only cover the entire Uzumaki village and perceive chakra near Uzushio village. But now, he said without exaggeration, if he tries to perceive with all his strength, half of the country of the vortex is within the locking range of his Kagura mind. No enemy can hide from such an exaggerated perception. So, when Orochimaru showed up with a root team, he was not in the slightest surprise. Glancing at the little girl, from the fighting spirit in her eyes, Su Feng can easily see that Uzumaki Kushina, who is now LV-30, is already eager to try. Since you are prepared, then, play with them. Pointing forward, Su Feng spoke leisurely. Don't beat the leader to death, I want to talk to him about something. The lead won. Kushina nodded silently. With her perception, she found that the man seemed to have some strength, but it seemed that it was not enough to compare with her. The Uzumaki clan. When they met on narrow roads, the root ninja brought by Orochimaru appeared in front of the two. The fiery red hair revealed the identity of the visitor, and Orochimaru looked at the big and small with interest. The Uzumaki clan really colluded with Rain Shinobi Village. But you Uzumaki, you only sent the two of you to support each other, isn't it a bit exaggerated? Touching his chin, Orochimaru should have been keenly aware, because the strength gap between the two sides was too great, and he didn't even notice the danger at all. He could only feel the huge vitality from that little girl. But that man, standing there, couldn't feel anything. Having such a huge vitality, Uzumaki is indeed a descendant of the Sage of Six Paths and legendary. Scanning Kushina, Orochimaru instinctively judged. Where does this vitality come from? I am curious. Ah, the little girl sneered endlessly. Curious? Then make you curious enough. Blood rage. Ramp away. Adamantine ceiling chains. Sword and shield onslaught. Growling again and again, Uzumaki Kushina's eyes became more bloody, his figure flashed quickly, and under the blessing of rampage, he appeared in the center of the root team like a ghost in an instant. More than a dozen gold chains stretched out, instantly entangled all the root ninjas, and then lifted them up and threw them on top of his head. Anger explodes. This is the unexplained combo taught by her ancestors. Boom. Stepping on the ground with one foot, a strong smell of blood hits the face. A column of blood formed a strange circle under his feet, and then, in the horrified eyes of those root ninjas, the blood shot up into the sky. Before they even had time to scream, they were swept away by the thick blood and lost their lives. One person instantly kills the root team. Orochimaru, who was restrained by adamantine ceiling chains and held outside the range of the outburst of anger, was a little dumbfounded at this moment. Swish. With a move of the gold chain, Orochimaru was thrown in front of Uzumaki Su Feng. The man smiled softly, knelt down beside Orochimaru and patted his face. Now, are you still curious? The weather in the land of Vortex is much milder than that in the land of Rain. The bright sun was shining on Orochimaru's face, but he didn't feel any warmth. Yes, just instinctive creepiness. Orochimaru is a genius. And this genius, unilaterally refers to his understanding of ninjutsu, and his interest in studying ninjutsu at a young age. He has seen and studied ninjutsu piled up like a mountain. But what frustrates him is that apart from the adamantine ceiling chains that Kushina used just now, he can't understand where the strong blood energy comes from. What ninjutsu is that? Blood inheritance limit, or secret technique? He had no idea, no clue. What made him most unacceptable was that the rumored elite root ninja under Danzo was completely helpless in front of that little girl who looked like 6 or 7 years old. Adjectives like genius paled in comparison to this girl. Only words such as evildoer and monster are worthy of her performance just now. And this monster comes from the Uzumaki family. Old ancestor, I'm sorry. Not waiting for Orochimaru to answer the man in front of him, about whether he is still curious. The girl came to him with hesitation and a little uneasiness on her face. Am I too weak? Puff. At this moment, Orochimaru wanted to vomit blood. Does this woman know what it means to instantly kill a root team in one face-to-face? Not bad. Su Feng was not stingy with his praise, and nodded to the girl to express his affirmation. No, Uzumaki Kushina shook his head, seemingly decadent. If the ancestor made the move, I'm afraid the battle would be over in less than a second. The frustrated girl seemed extremely dissatisfied with her performance, brandishing the blunt sword of adamantine sealing chains, looking at Orochimaru with a warlike gaze. The ones just now were not enough to fight at all. Among these people, it seems that this snake-like man has a little bit of strength. She was a little eager to try, but was stopped by Su Feng's look. Orochimaru is really good, but it is also time-sensitive. It's the beginning of the Second Ninja War, and Lang-kun Orochimaru hasn't even earned the title of Sannin yet. And even Sannin in this period, 3 against 1 can't beat a Hanzo. It's not Su Feng's conceit, but the current Kushina wants to hammer Orochimaru without expending any effort at all. Even Sannin can't do anything to Kushina. After all, the current Orochimaru is not full of forbidden technique, and he doesn't have that much life-saving ability. Jiraiya probably hasn't fully mastered Shanju yet. Tsunade's 100 healings mark has not been fully developed to the level of Baihao technique. According to Su Feng's evaluation, Sannin at this moment is much better than Common's Jonin, and is comparable to elite Jonin. But Uzumaki Kushina is the first crazy warrior in Uzumaki village to reach LV30 after a job change. With the addition of LV20 blood enhancement, the continuous vitality and blood energy are enough to support Kushina to turn around and use anger burst. This can't be killed, I keep it for use. Understating the value of Orochimaru's life, Su Feng threw a few scrolls to Kushina in front of Orochimaru. The kid from Rain Shinobi village is here, go talk to him. Business is on the way. As Su Feng's personal secretary, Kushina nodded quickly. It's not a great achievement for her to kill the root team in a face-to-face. The little girl has a goal in her heart that she wants to accomplish. She wants to be the ancestor's right-hand man. Although the current strength is enough to face most dangerous situations, even so, it cannot claim to be the help of the ancestors. She needs more strength. In front of the ancestor, she can be an ignorant little girl. But in other places, she represents the village of Uzumaki, representing the personal maid of the ancestor of Uzumaki. You must not embarrass your ancestors in the future. This is what she really thinks in her heart. Old grandfather. After Kushina left, there was an inexplicable light in Orochimaru's eyes. He's an extremely intelligent guy. Even after getting this information, some unreasonable things suddenly became logical. Orochimaru is Danzo's direct subordinate, and he knows more or less what Danzo does. Some time ago, the Uzumaki clan was invaded, and there were shadows of Danzo and even Konoha behind them. In his view, that operation was a catastrophe for the Uzumaki clan. Orochimaru waited for news that the Uzumaki clan had been wiped out before the operation even started. But in the end the news did not come. This is what he can't figure out. The second question is about the magical weapons and equipment. What did Uchiha village rely on to survive the disaster? Why is that red-haired girl so powerful? Patriarch, the ancestor of the Uzumaki clan. Orochimaru started brainstorming. Unlike other ninjas, he likes to study all kinds of ninjutsu, so he often reads some ancient classics. During the Sengoku period, Uzumaki Su Feng, the young head of the Uzumaki clan, announced his retreat. Since then, all news about the peerless genius of the Uzumaki clan has disappeared. In an ancient record of the Senju clan, there seems to be such a sentence. There was a flash of inspiration in his mind, and cold sweat broke out from Orochimaru's back. He seems to have grasped something important. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.